Freeport's playing in its third straight Long Island Class 1 title game, and the Red Devils are looking to defend their 2009 championship. In the blink of an eye, they're in the paint. The Red Devils will face the team they beat a year ago, William Floyd. The Colonials climbed a mountain to get here in Sachem North, and now their ticket is punched, and revenge is on their minds. It's Freeport and William Floyd clashing for the Long Island Class 1 championship, and all the action about to unfold next on MSG Varsity in HD. The fans are filing in, and the players have their game faces ready to go. MSG Varsity HD presents the Game of the Week. Today from Stewart Stadium on the campus of Hofstra University, it's the Long Island Class 1 Championship with the defending champs Freeport taking on William Floyd. Well, hi everyone, I'm Carl Reuter, joined by Tom Howard. And Tom, many people felt that Freeport would be here in this game to defend. Many people felt that it wouldn't be William Floyd looking to avenge last year's defeat.
Well, Carl, I don't know who those people are, because William Floyd, they've been to 7 county championships. These are the best 2 football programs in public high school on Long Island over the past 10 years. William Floyd 7 times with a 42-game win streak in there. And what has Freeport done? They've been here 5 times, and they've been 85-15 over that 10-year period.
Both teams are loaded with talent. Let's select one player from each team to highlight at the top of this show. For William Floyd, number 21, the super junior running back, Stacy Bedell.
Yeah, Stacy Bedell can do it all. He has excellent speed, great vision, and he can see the field very, very well. Okay, he's able to accelerate through the holes, and on defense, he also plays very tough physical defense. Had a great tackle last week to save the win against Sachem North. In that game against Sachem North, 246 yards on 22 carries and 4 touchdowns. And look at those year stats, Carl. That's an 8.1 average when he ran the ball for 1,531, and he has very good hands coming out of the backfield.
Now for Freeport, like William Floyd's Stacy Bedell, number 5, another junior, Jure Brown, makes things happen.
Yeah, you talk to Russ Sell, and he says he's a coach's dream. He's also a coach's son. His dad, Keith, is a strength and conditioning coach, and you know something? He can return punches. You see him doing right here against Farmingdale. He can catch the ball. He can run well out of the backfield, and he also blocks well. He basically can do it all. He lights up the field, is what Russ Sell says. And in county championship games, a guy like Jure Brown can make things happen. Look at those stats. 21 receptions for 437 yards. That's a 20.8 average every time he catches the ball, and he has 6 interceptions on defense. He is a force to be reckoned with.
Both teams, Tom, are so well coached. Veteran coaches on each sideline. There is William Floyd's coach, Paul Longo. He's in his 16th year, a 1976 graduate from St. John the Baptist High School, played for Bern Gamble. Now for Freeport, Russ Sellen, 24th year. And just like Paul Longo, all he does is win. Class of 1975, Lindenhurst High School. So it's a rematch of last year's Long Island Class 1 championship. Can Freeport get it for a second straight year? Find out next on MSG Varsity HD's Game of the Week. Welcome back to Stewart Stadium, just about set for the Long Island Class 1 championship. Carl Reuter along with Tom Howard. We have both sidelines reporting-wise today. Let's first start with the Suffolk County sideline. Here's Tara Petrolino.
Thanks so much, Carl. You know, in his post-game speech to his team after their stunning victory against Sachem North in the Suffolk County Championship, Paul Longo quickly turned his attention to this game, reminding his team of the sting of last year's loss to Freeport here and telling them that now it's our time to even the score. Despite being 45 miles away, his team arrives here promptly at 10 a.m. And Amanda, that punctuality should tell you everything about this team's laser focus on the Red Devils.
Absolutely, Tara. And Russ Sellen said it earlier this week. He said, hey, I'm not surprised William Floyd is here because they always find a way to win in the postseason. He said, but the key for us tonight is to realize that, look, we're not going to totally shut down Stacy Bedell, but we need to be able to contain him and rebound after he does something big. Carl?
All right, Amanda and Tara working the sidelines for both Suffolk and Nassau County. Tara Petrolino on the Suffolk side, Amanda Balionis on the Nassau side. Third time these two teams have met in this championship game. Freeport has won the previous 2, including last year, 38-14. That game played out at Laval Stadium at Stony Brook University. It will be Freeport kicking off. It will be number 35, the man with the golden shoes, Edwin Sandoval. This is Stacy Bedell. Bedell with some room. Bedell has an opening. Bedell still on his feet. Stacy Bedell is taking this one to the house. Open opening kickoff. Touchdown, William Floyd.
'89-yard kickoff return to start off the Long Island Championship football weekend. Stacy Bedell following his blockers. Little hit from behind, and he just takes off. Once he's in the clear, no one is catching the speeds of Stacy Bedell. 89-yard kickoff return for the score.
Bedell, the junior, 4.4 speed in the 40, taking that, as Tom Howard told you, 89 yards to the house. 6-0 William Floyd, 12 seconds in to this first quarter, the opening kickoff. Stacy Bedell has been on fire in the playoffs, rushing for almost 500 yards in the 3 games. The extra point, this is Dylan Munster, the sophomore. Scanlon to hold. The kick is good. 7-0 William Floyd.
12 seconds into the Long Island Championship, you're up 7-0. It has to feel good for Paul Longo. As you watch Bedell take it, cuts to his right, goes off. 2 blockers do a nice job of hitting their men, and he goes through the hole, cuts back to his left to the middle of the field, and takes it all the way, Carl. No catching him when he's out in front. Good end zone shot here again. Watch as he follows the wedge, and then just one missed tackle. He avoids that and takes it the rest of the way, the 89 yards for the score. Floyd up 7-0.
Paul Longo last week, going into the Sachem North game, said when Bedell gets the football, I want his first 3 yards, Tom Howard, to go straight ahead. After that, and he gets to the second level, he could freelance all he wants. He got to the second level here, threw that wedge, boom, and then bang, right, 89 yards.
And he showed his speed, and we said he has great speed, great vision in the open, and he showed both of those in that 89-yard kickoff return. But I'll tell you something, don't count out the Red Devils. Coach Russ Sellen, he knows how to come back from behind. He's been behind a couple of times to Farmingdale, came back twice this year. Great coach, great program.
Stacy Bedell, William Floyd. William Floyd, by the way, in 2005, 06, and 07, three-peat on the Long Island Class 1 championship. This Freeport team won the Long Island Class 1 championship in 2000, 03, and of course last year. 3rd straight trip to this game for Freeport, now down 7-0, and it will be Dylan Munster to kick off.
And Russ Sellen is saying this is a 2-peat for us. He's looking for that 2-peat, and they're going to have to get that O going.
Swift kick, free ball. Olivier goes down at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10, Freeport Red Devils. They'll break it out offensively with their quarterback, number 2, Isaiah Barnes, 6'2", 170-pound junior. This is the man that runs the show. Tom, 15 touchdowns, only 2 INTs.
You can see that stat on the board right there, how many yards he's had this season, 1,258. And Freeport, everybody thinks because they run the spread offense of the passing team, they are a power running football team. They can throw the ball, don't get me wrong, but they run the ball very well.
In motion is Maurice Irby, takes it off that speed option. Irby bangs over the 35 to about the 38-yard line. They'll give him maybe 3, possibly 4. Here's the rest of the Freeport offensive starters.
You know, the key to the whole offense is number 7, Jeff Williams. According to Coach Russ Sellen, he's the most important player on the team. He can run, receive, block. He allows them not to substitute. Great player. Look at the offensive line. Center Robert Morales, very intelligent, makes all the correct calls and guards. Cephas, Knight and Ward, very powerful 2-way player.
And I love Terrell Brown, who's headed to Bryan. As you look at Jeff Williams, the 6'2", 190-pound senior. Stay on the ground, and that Floyd defense wrapping up real tightly over there. Maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. Number 6, Luke Miller, had a tremendous game last week against Sachem North. Speaking of William Floyd defensively, here is a look at their starters.
You know, Anthony Tavarone, the big 2-year starter, very, very physical guy up front, as is Dennis Feast. And we'll talk about number changes because that mad scientist Paul Longo has changed some numbers around for us. Look at those linebackers, Will Brooks and Luke Miller, number 1 and 2 respectively on the team. And the secondary, all underclassmen, very, very fast, Nash, Smith, and Bedell.
Watch 39, Miguel Brennan had an outstanding effort in the win last week against Sachem North. 3rd and long, being chased, wrapping him up. There is Miguel Brennan, who wrapped up Isaiah Barnes by the feet and put him down.
You know, they run a 4-4 defense. Miguel Brennan is the inside linebacker. Didn't start till 3 games ago. Young player, only a sophomore, but he has come on. And look at Miguel Brennan coming up through the middle, makes the hit, and he's fouled right there by number 44, getting in and making the hit also, Matt Allen.
So now on 4th and very long. Sandoval has trouble with the snap, gets the kickoff though, bounces it midfield, and still rolling. I thought a Freeport player had touched it at the 46-yard line, and I believe they'll walk that ball back up the field.
Yeah.
In fact, it's at the 48.
First touching at the 48, then it went forward even further. That's where the first touching is. And if Floyd wanted to, they had the chance to actually pick it up and run with it there, because once Freeport first touched it, you can't fumble the football. Floyd starting out fast. I'm sorry, Carl.
That's all right. Sophomore quarterback A.J. Otranto, very, very efficient in last week's game against Sachem North. Even had a touchdown pass of 22 yards in that game to number 4, Kenny Grimm. They'll work it out of the I formation, and they've got an unbalanced line to start it off, Tom.
Yeah, they're going double tight end, and they're going a tight end over to the right. You can see right there. And coming back to the other side with his speed, Stacy Bedell.
And here's Bedell, near side. And Bedell will take this to the house. 2 touches, 2 touchdowns for Stacy Bedell. 13-0 in favor of William Floyd. That touchdown run goes for 52 yards.
Take a look right here. Stacy Bedell takes it, follows his blocking to the right, sees nothing there, reverses field, comes back to the left, and he is all alone going down the sideline. As you said, Carl, 52 yards. He's touched the ball twice for 141 yards. However, Freeport has not yet touched Stacy Bedell.
That's a great point. That might be the stat of the game. Munster, the PAT. 14-0, 2 minutes and 35 seconds into quarter number 1.
That's a happy man there, and there's another happy young man right there in Stacy Bedell. Paul Longo, you can't draw it up any better than this, Carl, as a coach. You see Paul Longo, let's go, let's keep it up, let's play good defense. Take a look at Bedell. Again, double tight end and actually tight end over. They have heavy to the right. He goes off the right, but busts it back to the left. Jeray Brown trying to catch him, just can't do it. Stacy Bedell, great speed, good angle of pursuit right there by Jaleel Burton, but not enough. Good job, I'll tell you. Look at that offensive line get off the ball and drive into those Red Devils. William Floyd has spent, we talked last week at how he spent Paul Longo the hours getting ready for Sachem North. Well, he spent even more hours getting ready. You beat him one time, he doesn't ever want to be beaten again. That's Paul Longo. He finds a way to win.
He has become the mad scientist the last couple of weeks. The magic potion worked last week against Sachem North. The magic potion is working so far early on against Freeport.
Well, he fakes that little potion here and a little potion there, mixing it up in his lab, and this little potion this time was the double tight end and heavy to the right. But Stacy Bedell, everybody knows about him. He broke it back to the left.
There's a reason Paul Longo in his 16th year has a record of 122 wins and 34 losses, almost 80%. But don't count out the Freeport guy, his 24th year, Russ Selin, 177. 81-3. Munster to kick off. Again, squibs it like he did all of last week against Sachem North. Evan Lapice, one of the Chihuahuas. Nice run back to the 48-yard line for the Freeport Red Devils. With more on what's happening on that Freeport sideline, here's Amanda Balionis.
Yeah, Carl, we talked about Russ Selin told me we cannot totally shut down Stacy Bedell. We just have to respond to him. So after that second touchdown, Russ Selin turned to Isaiah Barnes and said, all right, let's go. We have to throw this entire series.
Wow, so now Freeport will look to air it out, and they go with twins to the bottom of the screen with Williams in the slot, number 7. Evan Lapice, bottom of your screen, number 10. Up high is Jeray Brown, number 5. Barnes will throw. Barnes tucks, Barnes throws, Williams out there! Jeff Williams can't hold on, had 2 steps on Bedell.
And we talked about Jeff Williams being the hybrid. He's the guy that can make everything happen. He did have the steps on Bedell, and the ball was in his hands. Excellent job by Barnes, putting the ball where it needs to be. Unfortunately, Jeff Williams unable to come down with it. Take a look right here. Perfectly, just a little bit out on his fingertips. Can't ask for a better pass, so you really have to get the ball out there, and Jeff unable to come down with it. But you can see he can get away from Stacy Bedell.
Jeff Williams, a 3-year starter who does absolutely everything on the football field. It's 2nd down and 10, Freeport from its own 48. Shotgun Barnes. 3-step drop. Steps up. Launching to Williams again. He's got Jeff Williams, who's dragged down at the 15-yard line by Luke Miller. He went right back to his bread and butter, and he connects. This play went for 37 yards.
Good job on blocking up front. Watch the protection Barnes gets. Excellent job going over to the left and making his block. Excellent reception as the ball comes right down in Jeff Williams' hands. Williams able to go up front, pulls it down. Touchdown saving tackle right there by Luke Miller.
1st and 10. They've spot the ball at the 14. Isaiah Barnes off the cutback. Touchdown, Isaiah Barnes. It's going to be one of those days, folks. 14-6, William Floyd.
Well, Carl, they say defense wins championships. We may not see much defense today, but one of these teams is going to be a champion. They can move the football. 2 high-octane offenses. Watch right there. Number 7 taking the ball, Jeff Williams. We said he does it all. He's the hybrid into the end zone for the score. I'm sorry. That's Isaiah Barnes, number 2. My eyes are getting bad. 7-2. They look similar.
The point after by Edwin Sandoval, and it's 14-7. We've had 21 points on the board. We've played just a little bit more than 3 minutes.
Barnes taking a direct snap, just coming right off tackle as a designed run the whole way. Does a great job of following his blockers down into the end zone. Kenny Berryhill leading the way. Terrell Brown, number 73, you talked about him before, Carl. A good one at 6'2", 255. Our National Honor Society kid throwing a great block there.
Well, he's a 2-time All-County, 3-year, 2-way starter, number 73, Terrell Brown. And Amanda's report was right on the money. They threw twice, got the ball to the 14, then they gave it to Isaiah Barnes. The second one to Williams, connects for 37, and then Barnes finishes the drive, goes in from 14 yards out.
So in less than 5 minutes, actually, less than 3 minutes and 17 seconds, actually, we have 3 scores. I figured out going this way, Carl, it's going to be 297 to 256, but I won't tell you which team wins till the end.
There is Isaiah Barnes, who's a very young 11th grader. Takes a lot of AP courses. He's got the 1 touchdown, and there's Stacy Bedell. Now, if you're Edwin Sandoval, have you been instructed by Russ Sellen, the head coach of Freeport, don't kick to 21?
I think they're going to you're going to see a kick. It's not going to be the high kick. You're going to see almost what Floyd's been doing, a type of squib kick, and it's going to go a little to the left on this one. You see Sandoval looking down the field, and his eyes just gazed over to the left.
Vontrell Nash, number 1, top of your screen. 21, Bedell, bottom of your screen. Both standing at the 8-yard line.
And Vontrell Nash actually has better speed than Stacy Bedell. So let's see if they do kick it to Vontrell, whether or not he can break it.
$14-7, 89-yard touchdown run. Opening kickoff, Stacy Bedell. 52-yard run. First play from scrimmage, Stacy Bedell. 14-yard touchdown, Isaiah Barnes for Freeport. Sandoval will kick it deep. Bedell from the 3. And someone finally tackled Stacy Bedell at the 29-yard line. I believe it was number 14, Maurice Irby.
And if we're lucky enough after this next play, we may get the opportunity to meet the William Floyd offense and the Freeport defense.
That's a great point. There is Irby, 5'3", 140-pound junior. He is the one of the Chihuahuas with Evan Lapice.
You talk about the Chihuahuas. They're the guys who are 5'5", 5'6", but have been doing a fantastic job for Freeport all year. They're out there. They play good defense, good offense.
Let me correct you. They're 5'4" and 5'3".
Well, they're not huge, but they're good, and they have big hearts.
They'll go unbalanced again out of the I formation. Here's Bedell. And Bedell, I believe, first man that caught up to him was Jeray Brown, number 5. Now let's meet the William Floyd Colonials offense.
Well, we've been talking about Stacy Bedell, but watch out for Luke Miller. Very powerful runner, great compliment to Bedell. And they have two excellent sophomore receivers who are talented in Vontel Nash and John Martinez. Guard James Walsh, a 2-year starter, and tackle Brandon Winters. He's been a very pleasant surprise all year, according to Coach Paul Longo.
Pickup of 1 on the last play. It's 2nd down and 9. We've hit 4 minutes gone by in the first quarter. An explosive first quarter. Busting through, still on his feet at the 35-yard line, tackled by a couple of Freeport players. That was Luke Miller, the ball carrier. Speaking of Freeport defense, here are the Red Devils starters.
Take a look at Terrell Brown, defensive tackle, a 2-year, 2-way player, all-county wrestler. Oscar Bruce is also a hard-charging defense man who can't be taken, who can take down anyone. Middle linebacker Dan Olivier, he can go sideline to sideline. Outside linebacker Jeff Williams, we've talked about him before. He's in that mold of the great Freeport linebackers. Jure Brown, key to the secondary with 6 interceptions this year.
3rd down and 3, gain of 6 on the last play. A.J. Atronto, your QB. Bedell getting lost. Bedell lost a couple, and because of that, on 4th down and about 6, it's going to be a punt formation for William Floyd.
Good job by the defensive line of Freeport getting off, clogging up the hole. Excellent job right there by Terrell Brown, number 73, as you said, getting in and filling the hole. Dan Olivier following with the tackle, number 21, right there in your screen.
Talk to Russ Sellin about Terrell Brown. He'll tell you he's powerful, he's quick, and he's very smart.
And we also talked about Stacy Bedell. Let's talk about Jure Brown right now.
The punter, Matt Ortiz, with that left foot, gets a great roll, and it rolls at dead at the 25-yard line. 1st and 10 for Freeport, down 14-7 with 6:27 remaining in the first quarter.
And they kept it away from Jure Brown. See how he angled it to the right, because we know how dangerous a kick returner Brown is.
Well, Jure Brown last week, a 43-yard punt return for a touchdown against Farmingdale. High School Sports Desk brings you an hour of the latest in high school sports. Join Jared Greenberg and Sean Orion live for a full hour of all the sports and stories in the tri-state area. For the most up-to-date coverage of high school sports, tune in to High School Sports Desk weeknights at 6 p.m. and immediately following the game, only on MSG Varsity. Barnes dumps it off. Here's Jeff Williams in the flat. Williams to the 35, to the 40. Williams to midfield, to the 45. And there is a flag at the 35-yard line, and it looks like it's going to be coming back.
Well, you see Russ Sellin, he's pleading his case right now.
Bob Miller is the referee.
Russ is trying to let him know that was a good level block. It wasn't a push from behind, but
right out of bounds.
They pushed him right out of bounds. You can hear right there.
And again, Bob Miller, the referee. This is a split crew with Nassau County and Suffolk County. Bob Miller, referee here in Nassau County, working with Elvin Brown, George DiMatteo, Mike Tavatien, and Steve Selvaggio.
Legal block in the back. Offense, number 14. It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Yes.
That would be Maurice Irby, Tom Howard, number 14.
Yeah, they're calling Maurice Irby, who's one of the slot backs, and we're going to take a look right now as you see Williams catch the ball. Here comes Irby. There's Stacy Bedell, and he caught his hip on the side, it looked like to me, but if that's the call, that's a tough one to make, but it was made, and Freeport is back 10 yards from the spot.
So the ball now marked at the 25-yard line.
Russ is still chewing away there. Very upset with that call. He was right there when he saw it, and I'm sure from his angle, as we saw it from the backside, Russ saw it from the front side, he thought he got that hip in front.
Barnes wants to throw deep over the middle. Outstretched hands. Jure Brown could not catch up.
You know, as I'm watching Freeport and their offense move the ball through the air, Floyd has to get some pressure on that quarterback or he's going to start picking him apart. Just off the outstretched hands of Jure Brown right there. We saw earlier it was just off the outstretched hands of Jeff Williams that might have gone for a touchdown. Only one time has Floyd had pressure on the quarterback. They need to start getting to him if they're going to plan on winning this game.
2nd down and 10 for Freeport, down 7. 6:14 left first quarter. Motion Jure Brown, number 5. They give to Brown on the option. He's going to throw wide open. Is Evan Lapice, and one of the Chihuahuas is on his horse. And he's chased down from behind. Nice tackle by number 23, Devontae Smith. Or that's going to go for 6 for Lapice.
Absolutely. You know something? No one has ever seen Jure throw the ball before, but it's a 40-yard catch and run for Evan Lapice as Jure Brown just basically pulls up and lets it go, and no one is out there. He's all by himself. He tries to get speed going. Devontae Smith coming from behind to make a tackle. Look at the distance he had to make up. See Devontae Speed catching Lapice from behind, ball on the 20.
So a 40-yard pickup puts the ball at the 21 of Floyd. To his left is Barnes. Off the cutback, still on his feet. I'll tell you, if he had stayed to that left side and followed number 72, Ken Berryhill, he might have found the end zone, Tom.
Yep, it really looked like when he cut back, he sort of cut back into the garbage. There was a bunch of green jerseys in that area. Still a great pickup, 1st and goal for the Red Devils. And Carl, we are seeing some great offensive action, end-to-end action here today.
Freeport came in averaging over 40 points a game. William Floyd, 27 points a game. Lapice 10, Irby 14, split out, top of the screen. Barnes on the keeper. Barnes is denied. Once he got inside the 5, he was wrapped up again by Luke Miller.
And the off-tackle play you see right there is almost unstoppable for 4 or 5 yards because they have to honor the pass enough. They have to look for the fly sweep, and all of a sudden you see right now Barnes just taking the ball, running off tackle, and he has a big offensive line. And Brown, 6'2", 255, Merritt at 260, Morales 225, Cephas Ward 275, Berryhill 245. They're huge up front.
Some of the boys up front for Freeport, and they're not actually boys, they're men. On 1st and goal from the 3. Touchdown! Daniel Olivier, 14-13 Floyd.
Great job by Daniel Olivier getting in there. He's our tailback that we talked about earlier. It's the first time we're seeing him take the ball and get into the end zone for the Red Devils. And I'll tell you, I want to make sure Amanda finds out what Russ Sellen's telling these guys, because he certainly didn't have any panic in him. They're right back in the game with this extra point. Could tie it up at 14.
Jure Brown to hold for Edward Sandoval. This game is tied at 14 with 4:41 remaining first quarter. 14-0 Floyd, 14 straight by Freeport.
And take a look right here. Good job. Nice block right there, getting into the end zone. That's Cephas Knight and Ward doing a good job on the trap block. Trapping Will Brooks. As you see, Daniel Olivier just taking the ball off tackle and into the end zone. Basically walks in that end zone. Red Devils are getting their O going now.
There's the man, and Dan Olivier, who last year blocked for Kevin Allen, and now he's doing the job. And here's the big senior, 6 foot, 275 pounds of Cephas Knighton Ward, a two-way starter, all county this year. He is one powerful player.
He certainly is. He wants to be a microbiologist, Carl, a microbiologist. Very intelligent NHS kid, and just, you know, Russ has a very, very intelligent team this year, and that's how intelligent they are. They get down 14-0. There's no panic in the Red Devils. They say, hey, we're coming back. Let's see how William Floyd responds right now.
There is perhaps a future microbiologist. Right now, he's thinking about getting the 2nd straight Long Island Class 1 championship. Last year, Freeport upending William Floyd. And it will be Edwin Sandoval, the soccer player, who will be kicking off. Boy, he really stretches out those hamstrings before he kicks. And again, the deep men. Vontrell Nash, number 1, 21, Stacy Bedell.
And Carl, those hamstrings have been good to him because he's been putting that ball deep. 1 yard line last time when Bedell picked it up.
Let's see what happens on this kickoff. Squibs this one. going to be taken by Nash. Picks it up at the 10. Nash to the 20. Nash cuts to the outside, still on his feet. Run out of bounds as he crossed the 25 and pushed out at the 30-yard line. 1st and 10 for William Floyd. Led it 14-0. 2 straight touchdowns now by Freeport, and we're tied at 14. We still have over 4.5 minutes remaining in this first quarter for the Long Island Class 1 championship.
Floyd had a one-play drive for a touchdown. Their last drive, 3 and out. Let's see how they respond right now. Very big drive here for the Colonials.
A.J. Otranto, the sophomore quarterback. Bedell was stopped in his tracks and then thrown for a loss. A combination there of number 3, Malak Streeter, and number 21, Dan Olivier. For more from the sidelines of William Floyd, here's Tara Petrolino.
1-2, 1-2,
Carl,
1-2.
before taking the field, the offensive coaches imploring the team to drive him down. They said you cannot let them penetrate. It is imperative that you get low.
All right, Tara, thanks so much. Paul Longo, one of the coaches that high school football-wise here on Long Island does not wear a headset.
He usually wears a hat, though. He has this crazy hat he wears all the time. He doesn't have it on today. It scares me a little bit.
Luke Miller gang tackled as he got back to the line of scrimmage. So now the Freeport defense perhaps has warmed up just a little bit, answering the bell. Once again, it's 3rd and 10.
And you can see Freeport right now. The momentum is starting to swing their way. They feel very good about this. This really is the time for A.J. Otranto, the sophomore quarterback, to step up on a big 3rd down play as Luke Miller carries the ball, but he's met right there in the hole by Dan Olivier and a host of Red Devils.
Closing in on 3 minutes left in this first quarter, tied at 14. Jonathan Martinez, number 2, split out bottom of the screen as they work I formation. On 3rd and 10, being chased at Toronto, lets it fly. Trying, nice diving effort along the far sideline there was number 5, David Whitney for Floyd.
But good pressure right there. Toronto never got to square his shoulders. Had to throw, went back very deep, went back past 10 yards. Had to throw on the run and was not able to get the ball on the money call. So good job by the Freeport defense getting in and putting pressure on him.
So again, the man who's been really doing a great job punting for William Floyd, Matt Ortiz, the senior. Single safety, Jeray Brown. Try to kick away from Brown. Now it angles and a little bit of a roll for William Floyd, and a nice little roll for William Floyd. Stops at the 33-yard line. 1st and 10 for Freeport. We're tied at 14. Nice job by Matt Ortiz. MSG Varsity top 25 poll. And there you see the Freeport Red Devils have cracked the top 10 in at number 9 with a 10-1 mark. Lone loss to Farmingdale. Avenged that in the championship game. And there's number 17 at William Floyd at 9-2, winners of 5 straight games. And then the bottom 5, you see Huntington Central, Darien, Garden City, who you'll see in a Long Island championship game. Pope John at 24. Barnes with time. Barnes to Williams, beat Luke Miller, and then Miller brings him down at the 35-yard line. That's another big pickup right now for Freeport. That play went for 37.
And what I see is Luke Miller at 6 foot 195 is getting to take, he's the 4th defensive back, and his speed just doesn't match the Freeport speed. Barnes, plenty of time to throw, and if he can sit back there and throw, he can pick you apart. Watch Jeff Williams coming down with the ball right here. I mean, he's just wide open. You see Luke Miller, number 6, trailing the play. He's an outside linebacker, but just no match. They got to find that nickel back. They have to get that 4th defensive back, not really even the 5th defensive back in there, because William Floyd.
1st and 10, Freeport from the Floyd 34, Olivier. Olivier busts to the second level, cuts it to the outside. Off the spin, brought down at the 10-yard line. Vontrell Nash, the tackle on Olivier.
And I don't know that we've seen the end of scoring in this quarter on that 24-yard run by Daniel Olivier. He just follows his blockers. Watch as he goes through. Now he's downfield. Great job of stalk blocking. Does an excellent job of faking out Stacey Bedell, who eventually comes down with a tackle, but just sort of leaves Stacey Bedell in the dust at first.
Barnes, touchdown, Isaiah Barnes, and Freeport now with 20 straight points.
You know, Carl, talking to Coach Longo before the game, he said, we can't go end-to-end with these guys. We got to slow it down, and this is why they can't go end-to-end. Watch Barnes as he fakes the fly sweep. He goes right through the middle of the line, and it's the blocking. Right now, that Red Devil offensive line is getting off the ball and giving the Colonials all they can handle up front.
Sandoval for the PAT with Jure Brown to hold. And that kick is good. So trailing early in this first quarter at 14-0. Freeport, defending Long Island Class 1 champs, have rallied for 21 in a row.
And watch the blocking there. And again, one more time, you see Cephas Knight and Ward coming through number 60 and throwing a nice trap block. But the line is getting off. All the Floyd guys standing up. All the Red Devils pushing in, driving them back off the line. Excellent job in the trenches by the big men.
Well, Tom, 1:43 left in this first quarter. That drive, very quick, 65 seconds, went 67 yards, and Barnes finishes it off. 35 points already.
This is a yard a second for the Freeport Red Devils, and I'll tell you something. It was very close when we started out for the Colonials. They scored on that opening kickoff. They scored in the first play, Stacey Bedell. Bedell has to get going, and I think a key to this game may be A.J. Otranto, the sophomore quarterback, has to start putting the ball on the money to loosen up the Red Devil defense.
So Freeport will kick once again. How many kickoffs have we had already in this game?
We've had the
opening kick.
kickoff.
We have 5 touchdowns. So that would make 7 now?
6. Opening kickoff and 5 touchdowns. This is...
Oh, yeah. 6 now, yeah.
6
because he ran back that opening kick, yeah. Sit back and relax, because...
We said the kicking game may be big. We thought it was going to be with Dre Brown. Yeah, Stacey Bedell's joining in there too. And the 2 kickers, as you said, they got to stretch, as you see him stretching right there, because...
He's got the same ritual before every... He's like a free throw shooter in basketball. He's got the exact same ritual where he stretches it out.
No, he's like a kicker. They have their own intelligence. They have their oon mentality.
Well, you know what? I asked Russ Selena, I said, why those shoes, that color? He said, why are we discussing it? He's a kicker.
And he's 100% right. That's it. They have their own mentality of those kickers. But you know, this kicker, Sandoval, is doing great. He's putting that ball down the field. Great leg. 3 for 3 on his extra point.
Patrick Mars, number 87, will hold now for Sandoval. Once again, it's Nash, top of your screen, Bedell, bottom of the screen on your deep men for William Floyd, who now trail by 7 after being up 14-0. Boy, they're going to just keep on kicking it. And this one goes into the end zone. Automatic touchback in high school football. 1st and 10, William Floyd from their own 20-yard line.
And watch the Stacey Bedell, though. He sort of walked over to it. It's almost like he didn't want any part of the ball. Would take the ball on the 20. When you return a kick for, 75 yards, 80 yards for a touchdown, you should be hustling that ball, believing you could do it every time.
We're at Seward Stadium, campus of Hofstra University, for the Long Island Class 1 Championship, a rematch of last year's game in which Freeport won. Carl Reuter, along with Tom Howard, working the Suffolk sidelines. Tara Petrolino, which is William Floyd, working the Nassau sidelines. Freeport, Amanda Balionis. Hope you're enjoying all the action on MSD Varsity HD's Game of the Week. Otranto threw it in the flat, incompleted pass. Couldn't hold on there on the far side. Vontrell Nash.
Yeah, ball was down a little low, but Vontrell definitely has to come up with that. But it was only going to be a 2-yard completion anyway. I'm surprised they're not punching the ball down the field a little more. As you see Tara right there to the left of Paul Longo, making sure she gets all of our information for us.
Offset eye left with Luke Miller, number 6. Split twins to both sides of the field. Comes to the near side. Kenny Grimm tries to turn it back in, and then he's wrapped up there by Jure Brown. But that play was really put to a halt by Errol Small, who was the first man in, that first-year starter.
And you see the pressure that's on right away. Otranto gets the ball, and he has pressure in his face, throws it right out. And as you stated, number 30, Errol Small, the 5'8", 185-pound junior, right there on the play for the tackle. gain of maybe 6 inches on that play.
Third down, and Toronto looking to set up a screen. Now he steps back up, and he's in trouble. And it's only red jerseys that are around him. And he gets dropped, and there's a penalty flag on the far side of the field. That flag is at the 17-yard line.
Now let's see what the flag is, because if it's holding defense, it's an automatic first down, and that could be a problem for Freeport.
Russ Selin is way out on the field, and he's letting the referee Bob Miller know that he's out on the field. Here's the call.
Waving it off.
Yeah, waving it off.
And it's a good job by the officials right there. They sat, they talked.
There's no foul for defensive holding. The action occurred behind the line of scrimmage. It's fourth down.
There you go. And they did a good job of getting together, getting their explanation. Excellent job right there. And had nothing to do with Russ being out in the field. If that was a hold, they would have made the call. Behind the line of scrimmage, great job by the officials getting together and talking it over.
So they'll try to regroup on the far side. Clock showing 51.2 remaining. Now Paul Longo
he's
stating his case.
He's saying they didn't hold. They tackled him as you saw his arms go around there. But I'm sure it's going to be to no avail right now. Timeout for the officials. Official timeout.
Are they going to talk about it once again?
I don't know if they...
Bob Miller's walking towards Russ Selin. We might get another explanation from Bob Miller. Again, a split crew. Hofstra being in Nassau County, Freeport the home team, the referee comes from Nassau County. We're going to get another explanation as Bob Miller now walking to the sidelines. And I wonder if he's seeking out Pat Pizzarelli, who's the Section 8 Nassau County football coordinator. And that's exactly who he's speaking with. Tom Combs is here representing Suffolk County.
There may be a protest here, Carl. This is what happens. Pat Pizzarelli and Tom Combs would get together with the official. That's the protest committee. They would listen to both sides. They have rule books down there. They look at the rule. They make the call. And again, what they did before by getting together as an official group was the right thing to do. Then he made the call. They have to stick with what they said they saw. And it sounds like Paul may have protested. We'll see.
It sounds like it was definitely a protest. Now Bob Miller, as Tom Combs comes walking out. Tom Combs is the tall guy, the athletic director at Pat Chalk Medford. There's Tom Combs on your right. Section 11 Suffolk County football coordinator. And there's Pat Pizzarelli. And Mark Mensch, the William Floyd athletic director, in the center of your screen, also speaking with Bob Miller. This is a first for me, Tom Howard, since these Long Island Championships came about in 1992.
Yeah, I agree, and you usually don't see a protest, which we assume it is right now. Now, I'm surprised the coach is out there because Russ is out there right next to our Amanda Balionis, who's getting everything down. But the official who made the call is on the left. That's the line judge, and he made the call.
That's
now
George
Paul is out there.
DiMatteo.
Paul, yes, and Paul and Russ should not be in that group right now.
So we've got to map this out and see what's going to transpire with 46.9 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Scoreboard shows it's 4th and 12. Now that's Tom O'Connor who's working the chains. Tom O'Connor is also an official of Nassau County, a veteran official, and one of the best that you'll have in Nassau County. Now he's speaking with Bob Miller as well. All right, maybe we can have this sorted out just a little bit. Here's Amanda Balionis.
Well, I'm going to try a little bit, guys, but you saw the protesting committee talking right now, and the argument is if there is a hold in the backfield, it's not a hold. That is what they're questioning right now. No one has a rule book. They're trying to hunt one down. Right now, it seems like things are kind of up in the air because they don't really know what the correct call would be in this situation.
Great job on the sidelines, Amanda Balionis, as Bob Miller still talks with Tom O'Connor, and the line judge there is George DiMatteo, who made that call and threw that flag, which they waved off. But now they're trying to get some help from O'Connor on the sidelines, who's working the chains.
Yeah, and Carl, what the sideline crew are all officials. But the key here is that Paul Longo feels that strongly about this thing that he's protesting in the first quarter on a 4th down play, which means that he knows how important this one play in the whole game is. If they have to punt, Freeport has the ability to go up 28-14 the way they've been playing ball. And we may hear something as we see our referee getting ready. He's still talking it over.
And still conversation on the 5-yard line ongoing with Pat Pizzarelli and Tom Combs, with, again, the athletic director at William Floyd, Mark Bench, part of that huddle. Now Bob Miller is approaching both of the coordinators. And is this going to be a private conversation now?
I think, as I said, they're still looking for the rule book unless they, again, they're coming to talk to Russ. Body language, Russ Selling.
Doesn't look like it's going to go Russ Selling in Freeport's way right now. We might get an explanation, hopefully, from Bob Miller if he flips that microphone on. And he's going to flip it on. Here is the referee, Bob Miller.
Holding. Defense, number 60. It goes from the previous spot. It's 10 yards. It's a first down.
Wow.
And, well, you know something? If Paul Longo felt that strongly about it, he believed that he needed to protest at that point. I'm sure they did come up with a rule book at some point. It might have been one of the guys on the chain crew that had it. But there's the call, and this is just see what they do from here. It's not 4th and 12 punting anymore. 1st and 10 call.
We're getting word that it's only the 2nd protest in 20 years. Bedell, first down, a yard, pickup. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Pat Pizzarelli, we're getting word, Tom Howard said it's only the 2nd protest in 20 years. And again, Pat Pizzarelli is the Section 8 Nassau County football coordinator, also the athletic director at Lawrence High School.
And he was also on with Bill Piner, Cold Spring Harbor athletic director, used to be the Section 8 coordinator. Pat was on his committee, so he's been here for the full, since they began 19 years ago, the Long Island Championship.
That's Grimm on the reception and springs forward to just shy of the 40-yard line. A Toronto to Grimm. And it's 3rd and 2.
And good job by Kenny Grimm getting the extra yardage after the catch. Watch as Toronto sprints out. He gets to square his shoulders in this one, delivers the ball on the money, but Grimm does a good job of picking up the extra 2 yards, and that makes it 3rd and 2 as opposed to 3rd and 4. A very doable 3rd and 2 as the quarter comes to an end.
So a very exciting and newsworthy first quarter in the books. 21-14 Freeport. Come back with the start of the 2nd quarter right after this timeout on MSG Varsity HD Game of the Week. Get all you need to know about high school sports in a quick 60. Join Mike Quick as he reveals the top 25 teams in the tri-state area live. That's a quick 60, Tuesdays at 8 p.m. only on MSG Varsity. Another Optimum exclusive. Carl Reuter, Tom Howard, Tara Petrolino, Amanda Balionis back here at Schuett Stadium, campus of Hobson University, Long Island Class I championship game. A very busy quarter, to say the least, Tom Howard?
To say the least. You have 2 green and 3 red right in a row, and green has the ball right now. William Floyd and Freeport lighting it up.
14 straight, including the big plays by Bedell, 89-yard kickoff return, 52-yard run. And then Freeport comes storming back with 21 in a row. Right now it's 3rd and 2. Luke Miller initially stopped, and he has denied that first down. That's a big play there by big number 61, the senior at 245, Phil Stevenson.
And after 1 quarter of play, Carl, and that play right there, I can tell you the Freeport defensive line is beating the William Floyd offensive line, and that has been the difference so far. The defense and offensive lines of Freeport are dominating the line of scrimmage.
There's Stevenson, the senior, and Matt Ortiz, another senior, to kick. Jeray Brown, the junior, awaits from the 26. And that's a great open field tackle there by Devontae Smith to bring down Jure Brown.
Yeah, Devontae did a good job of getting down the field and making the tackle. He's 5'9", 165 pounds, only a junior, as is Jure Brown, but he does a good job of getting down, fighting off his block, and you see right there, bringing Jure down to the ground. Open field tackle, as you said.
1st and 10, Freeport Red Devils, as we start play here in the second quarter for the Long Island Class 1 title game. 5'9", 165-pounder. Look at the offense today. And that was 1 quarter.
Amazing.
Twins to the bottom of the screen. Shotgun Barnes looking near side. Flips it up. Oh, and it's picked off by Bedell. He's got nothing but green. Stacy Bedell takes it in from 40 yards.
If I can't do it on offense, I'll do it on defense, says Stacy Bedell. One more time, untouched to the end zone. Overthrown right now. Isaiah Barnes puts too much air under the ball. Bedell right there picks it off. And look at the green and white jerseys down the sideline, escorting him. No way is anybody going to touch the speedster.
You got to assist Bedell with Rajiv Haran, number 11, who really pressured Barnes, the quarterback. Bedell ended the game last week, knocking Jesse Scanna out of bounds to save the victory for Floyd. And now William Floyd ties it up on the point after. Big plays offensively, big play defensively, Stacy Bedell.
Well, we're only, 54 seconds into this first quarter. We got to score, Bedell said. He's getting that water. I don't know what he has in that jar, but it's working for him.
Oh, Haran.
As the ball did a good job by Haran hitting him. I mean, got him right as he was delivering the ball. Ball gets too much air under it, and Bedell, as you see, down the sideline, nothing but green in front of him. Just overthrown. You can say, you see, a couple of those little chihuahuas out there. Well, Bedell waiting behind one of the chihuahuas and takes it into the end zone.
That was the second interception of the season for Stacy Bedell.
And third interception that Isaiah Barnes has thrown. He's thrown 15 touchdown passes, only 2 interceptions, a great ratio. That one, unfortunately, ties the game at that number you're looking at right there, 21-21.
So Bedell runs the opening kickoff back 89 yards. Bedell then has a 52-yard touchdown run, and Bedell now defensively goes 40 yards to the paint after the INT.
And we said, as he was our highlight player of the game, we said he can do it offensively, he can do it defensively. As he said, he made that huge tackle on Scanna to end the game and save the victory for Floyd last week.
How about Rajiv Haran, who made the big hit? There he is, the 5'8 junior at 165 pounds. He made the hit on Barnes, who then floated it, and then playing center field was Bedell. But that's a great play by number 11.
Yeah, he's the number 2 tackle on the team, is Haran, okay? He has 102 tackles on the season, right next to Will Brooks, the leading tackle on the team, the inside linebacker. Haran, the outside linebacker, on a blitz that time, got right into Isaiah Barnes' face.
Haran is from the island of Jamaica. Little pooch there by Munster. Taken at the 14-yard line by Evan Lapice. And it's 1st and 10 for the Freeport Red Devils, now in a tie game. Boy, oh boy, 14-0. William Floyd jumped out on top. Freeport rallies with 21 in a row to go up 21-14 for Russ Sellen, head coach of Freeport. And then Bedell on the INT of 40. The point after good by Munster. We're tied at 21, and we've got 11 minutes left in the first half.
And don't go anywhere because they can score literally in 12 seconds any place on this football field, either team.
There is Bedell. Shotgun Barnes. Give to Olivier to the near side. He's got some big room to run. And they'll throw that beanbag and knock him out of bounds at the 47-yard line.
Good job, though, splitting to the right, to the wide side of the field, coming back to the left, to the narrow side of the field, and good job of blocking. Dre Brown, you see number 5 right there, doing an excellent job blocking one-on-one against Vontrell Nash.
Tom, our statistician, Matt Shortis, has now entering in this quarter using his 3rd pen. He's run out of ink.
And his hand's cramped twice already. You see him shaking it over there.
Freeport sitting at its own 47-yard line, looking at a 1st and 10. Motion Irby. Some confusion in the backfield. The handoff to Olivier, who still gets positive yardage to the 46-yard line. A pickup of about 8 yards. It'll be 2nd and short.
And all they were doing was faking on the fly sweep, as you said, as Irby went by. They handed off to Daniel Olivier, but Irby and Olivier smacked into each other. You see Irby coming from the left side, and he basically hits Olivier as Olivier's trying to go forward.
There is Irby, who's in the slot on the inside of Jere Brown. Olivier's got the first down and more. Dropped at the 38-yard line. Number 69, James Walsh, with help from number 11, Rajiv Haran.
And the 6'4", 215-pound Olivier is a bull running the ball, Carl. You see right there as he takes the ball through the hole. Very tough to tackle one-on-one.
Once again, with a report on William Floyd to the sidelines and Tara Petrolino.
Carl, no surprise here. Coach Longo extremely frustrated with his line. He said, we are getting dominated up front. Someone has to stop this. He even went as far as asking his linemen what plays they wanted to run. He said, what are you guys comfortable with?
You know, I really believe he can say whatever he wants. Freeport is just beating them off the ball. They're bigger, they're more physical right now, and they're going to have to do some kind of deception or trap blocking in order to start opening up those holes, or maybe get their quarterback, AJ, to try to throw the ball more. But AJ isn't a great quarterback. You don't want to change the whole offense. They're going to have to start using some traps.
Unusual, too, because last week Paul Longo's line was really blowing Sachem North's D-line off the ball, and it really opened up the offense in that Suffolk County Division I championship, in which William Floyd beats Sachem North to get to this game against Freeport. 2nd down and 11. Motion Irby. Give to Irby, looking for the hole. Irby still on his feet. Still on his feet, and then gets bullied at the 30-yard line, a yard shy of the first down, but one of the Chihuahuas kept his feet moving and kept up picking up yardage.
A good job by Devontae Smith coming in the end here, or else they maybe never stopped Irby. Watch as he follows his blockers, cuts out, goes behind his blockers, and you watch here as Devontae Smith comes up and puts the finishing touches on him to knock him down about a yard short. It will be 3rd and 1.
3rd and 1 in a game tied at 21 for the Long Island Class 1 championship. 8.5 minutes remain in a doozy of a first half. On the keep, it's Barnes, and he's still on his feet right up the gut, and he cuts it back to the near side. He's going to angle towards the cone. Touchdown, Isaiah Barnes! 30-yard scamper.
Isaiah Barnes not only follows his blockers, but has great balance and excellent vision. Watch as he cuts back here, fights off a tackle, gets to the outside, and just outruns the defenders to the end zone. Devontae Smith trying to get him. Too little, too late as he goes in. He shows us, yeah, that's a score, he says. Touchdown, Isaiah Barnes.
He got away from number 47, Dennis Feast, who was trying to pull at the jersey Sandoval for the point after. Came right into your living room, and it's 28-21. Freeport answering the Bedell INT to recapture the lead.
Remember, this is a 3rd and 1 situation. Barnes just takes the ball, follows his blocks one more time. Cephas Knight and Ward doing a good job up the middle, but also fights off the blocks and down into the end zone for the score. Gets off of Dennis Feast's tackle. Watch number 47, Feast, come in here. Has him by the jersey, as you said, Carl, but he has great balance, able to put that left arm down, get out, re-accelerate, get to the corner before Devontae Smith hits him. Too little, too late.
I'm going to ask you a quick question.
It can be slow. You don't have to make it quick. There's a lot of quick stuff happening out on the field right now.
Are you kidding with the numbers that we've seen so far in this championship game for Long Island for Class 1?
And how do they score? Both teams. And this is what, again, Paul Longo, the coach of Floyd, said before the game. If you look at Paul right there, he said, I can't afford to get into a match up and down the field with them. We need to control the football. We're going to go double tight. We're going to go another tight end over, okay? So they're actually going unbalanced with 3 tight ends in there and try to control the football. He didn't give the memo to Stacy Bedell. Stacy said, no, I'm scoring as quickly as I can.
Look what Barnes has accomplished. 6 carries, 83 yards, 3 touchdowns. Bedell has 3 touchdowns, and we still have over 8 minutes remaining in the first half. 49 points on the board already. It's almost like I can't steal the line from Russ Repkin, our producer. Whatever you can do, I can do better.
Well, we'll see who's going to be able to do this better because Floyd gets the ball back right now. They've answered the bell on defense when they weren't able to answer on offense. And there's the man who's had the great day for the William Floyd Colonials, and he may be getting the ball again in his hands.
Stacy Bedell is now at the bottom of your screen, number 21. Flanked there, top of the screen by number 1, Vontrell Nash. Kicking off will be Edwin Sandoval. I'm almost afraid to watch. Here we go. Deep kick. Nash from the 3 to the 15 to the 20. And Nash is chased out of bounds at the 24-yard line. So now let's see what kind of blocking schemes the offensive line of William Floyd might have.
Well, as we heard from Tara before, Paul was very frustrated about that. He said to the guys, what do you want to do? Let's see what they told him they want to do because they need to get up the ball. And let's give credit to that defensive line. For the Red Devils, Cephas Knight and Ward, Terrell Brown, Oscar Bruce, and Phil Stevenson have done a great job with linebacker crew Olivier Williams and Small keeping the Colonials bottled up.
From the 24, I formation, 1st and 10, Colonials from William Floyd. Bedell going absolutely nowhere. Once again, Phil Stevenson's in there along with number 60, Cephas Knight and Ward, Stevenson 61.
And right there, they went the double tight end to the left, okay? 1 tight end right, double tight left, unbalanced to the left. Tried to go between the guard and tackle on that side. Freeport having nothing to do with that. They just basically are getting off the ball, staying lower, and not letting the William Floyd Colonials drive them off the ball.
2nd down and 10. They'll work again. Lead block was Patrick Hansen, 19, trying to pave the way for Luke Miller, who, if he's lucky, gained a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 9 for William Floyd.
You take a look right here again. Unbalanced to the left side with the 2 tight ends to the left. There's the kick out. There's the lead block. And Luke Miller just going absolutely nowhere.
Less than 7 minutes on the clock to play in this first half. Bedell cuts to the outside. Bedell's got a 1st down, brought down at the 39-yard line, tackled from behind by Jalil Burton, the senior at 6 foot, 160 pounds.
And they went back to the regular offensive set there, split right. Okay, they had the I formation in the backfield. They go back to the right side. Nice job of a kick-out block right there by James Walsh, number 69. Bedell gets the opening and gets through, and I think that's the end of the double tight set we're going to see. Paul had a little experiment there. I don't think it's working for him. I think he knows that now. They're going to go back. Here they come. Double tight flanker. This is the set that he just got the good yardage in.
That was a big 3rd down play to keep the drive alive for William Floyd. Luke Miller on the carry. He crossed the 40, and he's dragged down at the 42-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 7 after the pickup of 3 by Miller.
Yeah, now they're starting to get some offensive movement. See if they stay in this. Miller coming out.
Miller played an exceptional game against Sachem North in the Suffolk County Division I Championship.
We've seen him a couple of times this year, Colin. He is a gamer. He plays very well, both offensively and defensively.
Great adjective, gamer. Bedell started to his left, brought it back. He's stopped at the 44-yard line.
A couple of people upset with Terrell Brown pushing him down, but that's part of the game. See right here is Bedell goes through, good leg drive, keeps his feet up, keeps moving. You see Jere Brown trying to pull him back down, and there comes
Strip the ball too.
Terrell, yep, after the whistle.
3rd down and 5.
And this is what Floyd needs to do. They need a first down here just to keep the ball out of the Red Devils' hands. They are so quick to strike.
And we really haven't had any drives where time came off the clock in this one. Rolling, Otranto in the flat. He's got the big guy, Tavarone. Oh, look at him just shrug people. Oh, he just knocked over Cedric Smiley with a little forearm, but the big guy with a big catch moves the sticks for a first down. He picked up 25 yards.
Anthony Tavarone, the people love him. He's little Tony Saragusa, according to Paul Longo, and he can do it all. He blocks and he can catch now.
Watch
you
this.
See him.
Get out of there.
And I'll go a little further. Take my helmet off. I'm going to go play without it.
Well, he likes to go hunting for elk, for deer. Today it's Red Devils, though.
Well, they were hunting for him on that play, too, as they ripped his helmet off. But key 3rd down. Good job by A.J. Otranto, the quarterback, to square his shoulders and deliver the ball right on the money. Tavarone does a nice job pulling it down and getting the first.
5'11", 290, was shaking the field as he was running. Here's Bedell off the cut. And Bedell crossing the 35-yard line on that 1st and 10 play. Clock has less than 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Stacy Bedell, only player, Long Island Championship history, to score offense, defense, special teams. Welcome to the record books, Mr. Bedell. Only a junior. He'll be back next year.
And he says the only record that matters right now is for my team to walk off a victor today. As good as that is, he wants the win.
That from Jack White, the official stats person here for these Long Island Championship games with Joe Giannotti. Jack White, longtime teacher at Garden City High School.
He's the official guy for Nassau County. Andy Slauson will be the official guy for Suffolk County when we get out there for Stony Brook.
Otranto carrying it to the 29-yard line, a gain of 5.
And people will look at that play and say, well, what? Yeah, he's setting up the option to the outside. They want to see what's going to happen. They want to see, they have yet to run the option, want to see how Freeport's going to defend it. Even if they don't use it this half, they can come back to it later. You see A.J. Otranto carrying that ball, picking up 5 yards on the play, 3rd and 3.
'28, 21. Freeport, the red and white, over the green and white of William Floyd. Bedell. Bedell's got that first down. Stacy Bedell moving the sticks for William Floyd.
And more importantly, keeping the clock running, keeping the ball out of Freeport's hands. If you watch Bedell, the line does a good job. You see the fullback getting into there, Pat Hansen making a nice block, and Bedell picking it up. You don't want the quick scoring. Paul Longo is playing this exactly what all he wants is to get a touchdown in the remaining 2:21, 2:20 as the clock kicks down. Use every second and score before the half.
If you have a calculator, you're one step ahead of me because Bedell is just racking up number after number. Little pitch back. A flag is thrown. Otranto's got it back, and he's buried inside the 25-yard line. But we need to check out the flag that was thrown at the 32-yard line.
That looks like it might be holding.
And that's the initial call, preliminary call by Bob Miller, the referee.
Yeah, they're going to push him back. I don't think there's any question you want to push him back at this point. And this holding kills you because you were driving the football. They're not a passing team. It's going to put them on a 1st and 20.
Holding, offense, number 59. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, remains first down.
That is Kevin McCourt, the junior, 5'10", 245-pounder.
And because it was a trick play, the spot of the foul is about 5 yards back, so it's going to be 1st and 25 at this point right now. And that makes it very, very difficult for a team that's trying to possess the ball and control it running to do something now in the remaining 1:58. They may have to put the ball up.
Down by 7. Offset eye right, Luke Miller. Otranto, quick drop, fires over the middle, in traffic, hauled in by David Whitney at the 18-yard line.
David Whitney, only a sophomore also. A lot of sophomores on this team. Paul Longo has a lot of his players back next year. They are going to be a force to be reckoned with for the next 3 years. Timeout, William Floyd. You can take a look right here. Good time, excellent protection. A.J. Otranto able to set up. And as you said, Carl, David Whitney pulling it down at the 18-yard line. They need to get to the 13-yard line for a first down. It'll be second and about 5.
Well, when I was talking with Paul Longo about David Whitney, I said, give me a couple of points. What do you like about him? He said, first of all, he's a real good athlete. Second of all, he's got hands. He just showed his hands and his athleticism, reaching just a little bit behind him to pull it down.
Did a good job of concentrating on the ball. And third of all, he's a sophomore. He'll be back for me 2 more years after this.
That's probably the best point about the 3 that he had made. How did William Floyd get here? Well, a big win over Sachem North coming out of Division I, and you see the brackets and how they squared off in the quarters. We got it down to the semifinals, and then that championship game, it was 1 versus 2, but everyone thought it was way too much number 1 Sachem North that would easily take out William Floyd. Didn't happen.
And we had them live on MSG Varsity early in the year where Sachem North completely dominated every phase of the game.
26.
But the mad scientist, as you said, he went to his little laboratory, he kicked up things, and they really did a great job. You couldn't have drawn it up any better to come back off. And Sachem North is a fantastic football team this year. William Floyd comes away with the victory.
Second straight year, Dave Falco and Sachem North went into that championship game with a record of 10-0. Second straight year, their season was finished by the Colonials.
Yeah, it's tough. And I'll tell you, we said William Floyd, the best public school in Suffolk County over the past 10 years. Paul Longo's done a great job with them.
Otranto rolling, fires, got Luke Miller inside the 10 to the 5. Run out of bounds at about the 1, maybe the 2-yard line, knocking on the door, looking for a tying score now is William Floyd.
Yeah, you see Luke Miller getting up a little gimpy there. He's a good blocker for him, makes some very nice receptions. He gets out deep in the flat, pulls the ball down, is able to keep possession of it, and knocks about a 1.5-yard line, Carl. It'll be spotted. Stacy Bedell is out. He's not in right now.
They might go with a jumbo package. There's big 15 Taverone's going to end up on the left side there. In front will be 19, Patrick Hansen, the fullback, blocking for Luke Miller, who played tailback right now. Ball spotted at the 1.5-yard line. Otranto, there's Miller. Miller tries to find his way to the paint, waiting for a signal. And he was stopped short of the house.
I was going to say, it was a great spot right there. You saw the ball on the 2-inch line. However, they're moving it back a little bit. But still, as Luke Miller takes the ball, watch Taverone lead through that hole. That's number 15. Number 76, Warren Ritter, the 6'3", 260-pound right tackle, also helping out in that hole. They're going right again, I believe.
Otranto right under center. Taverone motion 15. Luke Miller. Touchdown, Luke Miller. And William Floyd gets to within 1, pending the point after.
Real nice call there by Paul Longo, going back to the weak side after he puts his big man in motion, Taverone. He goes back to the left. Everybody's slanting to the left. You see how Freeport slants to their left. He goes in on the opposite side and walks into the end zone. Good job there by Luke Miller following his blocks.
He walked in because big number 69, James Walsh, was help leading the way.
Yeah, James Walsh, as you said, 6'3", 260 pounds. Good side of the line over there. Brandon Winters also 6'5", 235. They got some big guys, too.
Dylan Munster, the PAT, and it's now tied at 28 with 44 seconds left in this first half.
Take a look right now. Again, Miller going right off, as you saw, number 69, James Walsh leading the way. We'll see one more time. And again, Miller a little gimpy here, but look at the nice kick-out block. Takes 2 on, does James Walsh, the captain of the team at 6'3", 260, a 2-year starter. Takes 2 Freeport guys on. Luke Miller able to walk in. Game tied, 44 seconds, and Jerate Brown may be able to take the ball back before the half, Carl. The way this is going, it isn't over with 44 seconds on the clock.
Unbelievable. That's a drive that Paul Longo was looking for. Take time off the clock, almost 7.5 minutes.
Not just his offensive line doing a good job in that job, but A.J. Otranto the sophomore quarterback doing an excellent job of finding his receivers, found Luke Miller, found Tavarone, had time to pass, did what he needed to do as a quarterback to make things happen. Good job there, Mr. Otranto.
Good job, Luke Miller. Hopefully Miller is okay. 7 carries, a tough 12 yards. He's got the touchdown that just tied this game with less than a minute remaining, 44 seconds to play, first half. Long Island Class 1 championship game.
Yeah, Freeport has 3 timeouts left, and depending on how they return this kickoff, they may use those 3 timeouts. We know they can definitely. 44 seconds is a long time for a Freeport-type offense. Good look at Russ Sellon, the head coach of Freeport. He's done such an excellent job with the Red Devils over the past 20 years.
So Dylan Munster, who's got a great leg, he's a sophomore, so he's back for a couple of more years kicking for Paul Longo's team. Jeray Brown, number 5. Evan Lapice, number 10. They squib it. It's Lapice. His knees never hit the ground, I guess. And then he gets bottled up and racked up at the 34-yard line.
And they didn't call. I think that was a good call. He went down, and as the ball was coming, he got up and his knees didn't hit the ground. The official was right there on the spot. Let him down. You see number 7 down on the ground. That's a huge. That's Jeff Williams. That's their hybrid. That's a huge injury if he's not able to get up quickly.
That's Dr. Carl Friedman standing. He is the doctor in attendance for the Nassau County playoff games and Long Island Championship games here at Seward Stadium, campus of Hofstra University. Also a real good official. He's done all 3 sports, football, basketball, lacrosse for about 40 years.
And
Dr. Carl Friedman.
Great official and even a better person.
Yep. And it looks like Jeff Williams is okay.
Yep. He'll be able to shake it off in the half. You may not see him right now in the next play or two, but let's see what Russ Sellon decides to do. His guy who can do it all for him is going to be out this play. Let's see if he decides to put it up anyway. 37 seconds? That's an eternity for Freeport.
There is the 3-year starter who does everything for this Freeport Red Devils team, Jeff Williams.
I wonder if he has a back, is something wrong in just the way he laid down right there. It's almost like maybe a muscle in the back. Again, they have the halftime to work with him. We'll see how he warms up coming out of the second half. Hopefully he'll be out there.
Yeah, in a game like this, you want both teams to have
everybody, right. You want both teams to play their perfect game. That's
Absolutely.
What you want to see. And you know something? It's pretty close to that right now in the first half. You got 28-28. They're playing great high school football.
On the ground with Irby. Off the right side. Still on his feet. Maurice Irby dragged down at the 30-yard line. That's a 46-yard run.
You saw them out there calling timeout immediately, and I really believe that Russ Sellon said, let's just run a sweep and see what happens. I mean that seriously. Let's see. If we don't get yardage on this sweep, we're going to let the clock run out, and that's it. If we get yardage, we'll decide what to do. Did he get yardage? Only about 33 yards as he goes down the sideline. And again, he's one of those little chihuahuas. He's able to pick up big yardage on this play. Follows that wall. Good job of just walling off along the sideline. Nice job by Jeray Brown on Stacy Bedell. Downfield stalk blocking, keeping Bedell off of Irby.
You talk about Irby at 5'3", 140 pounds.
And I see my man Jeff Williams down on the sideline running back and forth. He looks ready. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him in on the next play.
Trying to get it going. Russ Sellon, head coach, 24th year of the Freeport Red Devils. Lindenhurst High School graduate back in 1975. Played football at CW Post for 2 great men, Dom Annealy and Tom Marshall.
Yeah, they are CW Post football.
Jeff Williams, Tommy said, was trying to sprint a little bit, try to get back on the field before this first half comes to a close with 27.8 seconds. There's Toby Elmore.
Hey, Toby's Hofstra football player.
Hofstra football player.
And another great guy.
And also the other assistant coach here with Russ Sellon, Jimmy Jones, was a great running back out of Freeport High School. Played here for Joe Gardy, the late great Joe Gardy. Well, an opportunity to punch one home and maybe take a lead at halftime. Tied at 28. First and 10 Freeport from the William Floyd 31. Barnes with time. near side. Jure Brown out of bounds inside the 10 at the 9.
Jure Brown has NFL potential. Do you see how he had both feet in bounds? High school, you only need 1 foot in bounds. He put both feet down, was able to make the catches. He concentrated, just did a great job, 22-yard reception. Watch these feet. If he can catch it right there, gets both feet down and out of bounds.
Got inside Rajiv Haran, and now knocking on the door with 21.7 left in this first half of the Long Island Class 1 Championship. Tied at 28, Freeport, William Floyd locking horns for a second straight year. Freeport won this game last year, played at LaValle Stadium, campus of Stony Brook University. Barnes looking, picking him up, putting him down to the 5, and then dragged down from behind. Boy, Luke Miller, tremendous defensive play.
He really didn't. He stayed right there. He didn't get faked out by it. Freeport takes a second timeout. This is where keeping your timeouts to the end of the half really helped, Paul. Freeport has all 3 timeouts. Remember, William Floyd was kicking off with 44 seconds to go. Freeport has taken this ball and moved down. There's still 11 seconds to go and 1 more timeout. They'll get a field goal out of this drive possibly, if not the touchdown. Watch, as you said, Luke Miller doing just a great job of hanging in there. Presence of mind as Isaiah Barnes comes up to call that timeout. His coaches had already done it.
Tom, it was great because we went to the meetings here at Hofstra and the meeting out at Stony Brook when all the coaches get together at the respective junctures of where they're going to play. And sitting there and talking with Russell, and he said, boy, you know, I'll tell you right now, Stacy Bedell of William Floyd will be the fastest guy in the field that day. So I went over to Paul Longo and said, hey, Russ Sellon just paid you guys a great compliment. Stacy Bedell will be the fastest player on the field. And then Paul Longo responded deadpan. He goes, yeah, but Russ Sellon has the next 6 fastest guys.
Well, we've seen Stacy Bedell run today, but we've also seen Russ able to put the points up 28-28 with the potential to take the lead into the locker room at halftime in the remaining 11 seconds with 1 timeout left.
28-28 in 23 minutes and 48.7 seconds, if my math is right.
And the strength of William Floyd's defense right now is the short field. They are able now to maybe put some pressure on and go man-to-man on coverage because they don't have to worry about anybody beating them deep because the ball is only on the 5-yard line. You only have 15 yards, so you can get up and play tight defensive coverage and not have to worry. You need to put pressure on the quarterback.
They've just added a couple of seconds to the stadium clock, so now it'll be 13 seconds remaining in this first half. 2nd and goal from the 5 for Freeport, looking for the go-ahead score and try to take that into the locker room.
Bontrell Nash on Jure Brown to the bottom of the screen.
Shotgun Barnes, motion Irby. Barnes keeps Barnes still on his feet. Touchdown Barnes! Oh, 2nd and 3rd effort, punches it home.
Great job by Isaiah Barnes, keeping his feet moving, following his blockers. He gets hit right there, but keeps going. You see the hit by number 6, Luke Miller, but unable to keep him out of the end zone. The only negative out of that is he scored still with 8 seconds to go. They may give Stacy Bedell the ball a chance.
Sandoval for the point after. Yeah, and you're not crazy, folks. That is the score right now with 7.8 left in the half. Freeport 35-28.
And Freeport gets the ball to start the second half. So this next kickoff, when they give the Colonials the ball back, as you see him take the ball right there, just does a good job of following his blockers and getting his forward body lean to get the ball into the end zone for the score. Very tough to stop a team like Freeport that has great players like Williams, Irby, Jure Brown, and then Olivier, the running back, we haven't mentioned that much, and Isaiah Barnes, the quarterback, was having a fantastic game today.
How about Evan Lapice? You know, there's just so much talent on both of these teams. 4 plays, 66 yards. Barnes, with the culmination of the 5-yard touchdown run, took only 29 seconds.
29 seconds, that's just it. You can't give them the ball. I mean, Paul Longo has a lot of talking to do in that locker room in the second half because remember, Freeport, as we take a look at Coach Longo, Freeport gets the ball again to start the second half. They deferred in the beginning of the game.
I'll tell you right now, there's no way in heck that I'm kicking off and letting Nash or Bedell touch. I am squibbing it, and that's it. But what do I know? He's been coaching 24 years. Isaiah Barnes, the junior quarterback, 8 carries for 93, only has 4 touchdowns in the first half.
Yeah, he only had 9 all year. You looked at a guy like Daniel Olivier, he had 18 on the year. You looked at guys like Jeff Williams, who he had 2 receptions and 3 rushing this year. Jere Brown. These are the guys that everybody was concerned about coming into the game. Barnes, yeah, you're concerned about him, but not that much. What has he done so far? Put 4 up in the first half, Carl.
Well, he rushed for 9.
There's another guy.
Another 15, so he was responsible for a lot of touchdowns, and there's Bedell. Sandoval, Edwin Sandoval, number 35, 5'6" junior, soccer player who does the kicking here, going through his pre-kick ritual. And Sandoval approaches. There's the squiver. Taken there by Jonathan Martinez. Martinez to the 35-yard line. Gang tackle there, and the clock kept on running. Now, or did it? See, the stadium clock, everything says end of the second quarter, and that is the end of the first half.
And I don't think anybody's arguing about that. There's no sense in taking a knee on a play. Let the clock run out. Let's get into our halftime locker rooms, and let's talk about what we need to do in the second half. And I think the answer is put up another 70 points, 80 points in the second half.
35-28. Freeport, who fell behind early on, 14-0, leading the Long Island Class 1 championship game over William Floyd. To the sidelines, Amanda Balionis with Freeport coach Russ Sellen.
Coach, your offense is firing on all cylinders. You're on pace to score 70 in this game. But defensively, you had your guys describing stuff, kind of explaining what's going on. Do you think your defense has to adjust to some things in the second half?
Once we got settled down, we had the kickoff return. Then what happened was they put an extra lineman in, and we called it an unbalanced look. It really wasn't unbalanced. So we actually left ourselves open on the backside, and the kid made a great run. He went out the back door. But we've settled down, and I feel pretty good up front right now. But, they're explosive, just like we are, so they can make a ton of plays. We just have to wait to see how this thing plays out.
One of the most explosive players, Stacey Bedell, you told me, hey, I know we can't shut him down completely. It's how we respond to them that really matters. How do you think you've responded and contained Stacey Bedell so far?
If he leaves, we'll be in good shape. But I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he's going to show up for the second half. He had a kickoff return. He had a big run. He had an interception return. What more can a guy do? But we knew that coming in. He's just a great player. And if you let him get in space, he is a big problem.
All right, Coach, good luck in the second half. Carl?
All right, Amanda, Russ Sellen was referring to Stacey Bedell going in the back door. Bedell went in the front door. Bedell went in the side door. But so did Isaiah Barnes for the Freeport Red Devils. He's got 4 touchdowns in the first half. Bedell's got 3. It's a wild one. We're back with more right after this.
Go ahead, bud.
He's taking your calls. He's taking your questions.
Right, Freeport.
But when it comes to high school football, 60 is just too quick. MSG Varsity busts open the schedule,
He's off the charts.
giving you 90 minutes with Mike Quick. Ask your questions. Make yourself heard. A quick 60 on football, 90-minute special, Tuesday at 8 p.m. Only on MSG Varsity. Another
Halftime here, Hofstra University, our number 9 Freeport team over our number 17 William Floyd team, 35-28 Long Island Class 1 championship. And Tom Howard, it's already the highest scoring game in the history of Class 1. Here's the reason.
And this is the reason. Started right off with the opening kickoff as Stacey Bedell takes a record 91-yard touchdown following his blockers, cutting back to the middle of the field, and then using that great blazing 4-4 speed of his to outrun everybody to the end zone. Extra point good, 7-0. Next time they got the ball, again, the Red Devils cannot touch Stacey Bedell as he outruns Jere Brown and the rest of the Red Devils to the end zone for the second score. They were up 14-0. Don't count the Red Devils out. First play, Isaiah Barnes takes the ball into the end zone on a 14-yard touchdown run. Olivier on a touchdown run of 3 yards, and Barnes again taking the ball on a touchdown run of 10 yards into the end zone. 21 now to 14. Throwing the ball, Stacey Bedell comes down again, takes it down the sideline into the end zone. 21-21. We have a tie ball game. Mr. Barnes says, no way I'm going to break this thing open. takes the ball back on a 30-yard touchdown run, weaving in and out of the William Floyd defenders, gets into the end zone, 28-21. Luke Miller ties it up at 28. 44 seconds to go in the half. What the Red Devils do, they take the ball down the field and still leave time on the clock as Barnes takes the ball on a 5-yard run into the score. Look at those stats. 327 total yards so far and 954 of possession. Freeport is averaging 12.7 yards on every single rush. Doing an excellent job of rushing the football. They can pass the ball also. You can see 130 yards passing, 197, but it's their offensive line as far as I'm concerned, Paul, and their defensive line that has really been controlling the game.
So it's 35-28, Freeport over William Floyd. The Freeport cheerleaders and the band have had a lot to cheer about and play about. Back at the start of the second half, right after this. We're just about set for the start of the third quarter, but quickly, let's go down to the sidelines of William Floyd and Tara Petrolino with the big guy, Anthony Tavarone.
Thanks, Carl. Anthony just came out of the locker room. What does your coach say to you? You guys are in this high-flying offensive game with Freeport. You're right in the thick of it. What was the message to this team right now?
We have to stay strong, don't give up on the ball. Every man's the ball, and try to drive it down the field. And we just got to stop their running. So we're just pumping each other up and getting ready for the second half.
Well, they were loving it when you were out there catching a pass. So you see yourself out in the receiver slot in a couple more plays this second half?
I don't know yet. I mean, we got a lot of ball to go, so hopefully. All I'm thinking is all I'm trying to do is hold on to the ball and just run.
All right, good luck to you in the second half. Carl?
Thanks, Tara. Tom, I was getting a little fearful there for Tara because Tavarone does the interview with his helmet on. I didn't want him to knock Tara over.
Well, he does his catching with his helmet on, but after he gets hit, his helmet was off before. Did a great job of receiving that ball, sending them up. That was a big, long drive by the Floyd Colonials. They controlled 7.5 minutes of the clock. That's what Paul Longo and his team need to do the second half. They need to keep the ball out of the hands of the Freeport Red Devils.
Freeport Red Devils won this game last year, beating William Floyd for the Long Island Class 1 championship. That's one of the assistant coaches, the former Freeport star himself. And Hofstra standout, Jimmy Jones in the middle of that huddle. And Freeport on top, 35-28. And here's how we got to the score where we're at right now. And Tom, look at how quickly Floyd got up on top, 14-0, but then Freeport, bang, 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 21-14.
Yeah, they came back, and then all of a sudden you see the interception, and William Floyd is right back in it. It's going to be 21-21, and then back and forth, back and forth. This is just a wide open game, Paul.
There's Russ Sellen, and now joined by the outstanding coach, and you're in my Hall of Fame, Buddy Krummenacher, as he joins us. Buddy, nobody knows Russ Sellen better than you. What do you think the message might have been to his team at halftime?
I think the message was simple, just keep playing, and we've had the better of this in terms of the line of scrimmage and what it takes to win championships, and I think that would be his message, just keep playing.
And they can score quickly, so that's all they have to do.
They can score quickly and just keep playing and prevent the big play.
Well, Freeport's going to get the ball first here to start this second half, as Dylan Munster will kick it off, and again he'll squib it, and it comes down to Maurice Irby. And Irby tries to fight for some yardage to the outside, gets bumped out of bounds by Stacy Bedell. Now, even though Freeport, Buddy, has the ball, if you were coaching against a Stacy Bedell, how do you contain the guy? How do you keep him in check?
Well, you need to cover the field because the kid can, he's the obvious. He can take it up the side or he can cut it back as he did on the touchdown run. And if you can cover the field, you have a chance of stopping him or at least containing him.
And that's what Russ said in the beginning of the game. They know they're not going to stop him completely. They just want to contain him. And you know something? First half, that's over. Second half, they contain him now. They're up by 7 to start with, and you know they're going to score at least one more time, if not more than that.
I think they're going to score some touchdowns.
Here's Isaiah Barnes, who had 4 touchdowns in that first half. He scampered out of bounds, and they'll mark it at the 43-yard line. Second down for the Freeport Red Devils.
And you can see Isaiah's speed right there. There was no one on the corner. 2 Floyd guys. He ran right around those Floyd guys to get to the outside. And, Buddy, you've played him twice during this year. Good speed on that Freeport team.
Oh, absolutely, and good people up front. I think that, people want to look at the guys running around with the ball and the guys with the low numbers. The guys up front with the high numbers make things happen.
We said that all first half. They were beating Floyd off the ball offensively and defensively. Absolutely.
2nd down and 6. They work that shotgun, give it off to Irby. Irby tries that right side, and he gets stuck there at the 45-yard line. And, buddy, you're a great coach. You've been in this game. You've won this game. But is it tough to watch this game right now? And you're watching a team in Freeport play William Floyd, and Freeport's a team that knocked your season to an end.
Well, it's like a lot of things. There's a scoreboard at the end of the field whenever you play a game. And, we beat them early in the year, and they beat us late in the year, and it's obviously the wrong time to split with someone. And, I think the world of the Freeport program and Russ Sellen and those guys that coach with him, and I'm pulling for him, quite honestly. I'd be a liar, and I love Paul Longo. I think he's a great guy.
That's a first down there. Go ahead,
pulling for the Red Devils.
Nassau County guy, you'd be doing that. You'd be doing that, that's for sure. Just as I'm sure Russ would be pulling for you right now if you were in the game.
I'm sure he would.
Buddy, 2 games against Freeport this year, the regular season, and then, of course, in the playoff game to get to this one as we look at 1st and 10 with Irby, who scampers for a couple of yards. You scored 75 points. They scored 75 points. You and I were talking on the phone yesterday, and you both had about 825 yards in total offense. You can't get any more even numbers, and you go 1-1, but he's here because he won the 2nd time around.
There you go.
Well, the bottom line.
I think that sums it up.
And that's the truism in that is that the Dallas didn't lose that last game. Time literally ran out. And in the first game, time ran out on Freeport.
That's
you guys could probably go back
probably about how it goes. Yeah. And we got into the extra point contest with him, and, we didn't win the extra point contest, which, there you go.
There goes Barnes far side. Chased out of bounds. They mark it at the 18-yard line.
And if you watch how that play developed just then, he went into the line and he broke it to the outside. The Floyd linebacker stepped up. He has great speed getting to the outside, as you watch right here. He goes in, and now once he gets to the outside, there's just no way Will Brooks is going to go with him one-on-one. Luke Miller, number 6, not able to go with him one-on-one. Stacy Bedell, the only guy who drives him out of bounds after a pickup of about 19.
Buddy, you want to join the long list of coaches that have said this, that the game's easy from up here?
Very simple sport from up here.
It's 1st and 10 for Freeport from the 18-yard line. Williams 7 in motion for the Red Devils. Here's Barnes, who had 4 touchdowns in the first half, drives inside the 10, knocked down at the 7-yard line.
Well, good job by Barnes following his blockers right there, buddy. He doesn't need that electric speed, and just takes his time, follows his blockers, goes in, and you can take a look. He runs the ball right here and just stays right behind his blockers, looks for that opening, and boom, that's when it's going to start to accelerate.
Well, it's all good zone blocking, and they got big on big, and they're pushing people. Very simple. They're moving people off the line of scrimmage, and then you're going to create running lanes for whoever you hand the ball to, or if Barnes keeps it himself.
Well, that's just it. Who do you? I mean, Danny Olivier, great running back, but Barnes is doing such a fantastic job today of running the football.
Jeray Brown motion on 1st and goal from the 7, and Brown is wrapped up there, maybe a yard on that play. And I'll tell you, buddy, you've won a Rutgers Cup at Farmingdale. But I don't think anyone has ever, in the history of Nassau County, will ever do what you did over at Hempstead when you won 3 Rutgers Cups in a row, 84, 85, 86, and won 4 out of 5 years. How proud are you of that, what you did with those Hempstead Tigers?
It was a great time in the 80s. We were dominant, and we had great players come through Hempstead High School, and we managed to win games that we shouldn't win, because that's what you have to do if you've got a streak, and win the games you're supposed to win. And it was a great time. It was, 4 out of 5 years to win a Rutgers Cup was a tremendous thing.
And going in, speaking of 5, for his 5th touchdown of this game, Isaiah Barnes. And now Freeport has upped its lead to 41-28.
And you watch as Barnes goes through the hole and picks up. He ties now a record. This is a 5th touchdown. Long Island championship game record, 5 touchdowns. And he still has about 20 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in this game, maybe to break that record and score 6. Just follows his blockers. You talked before, buddy, and we've said it in the first half. The offensive line is controlling this game. Defensive line for Freeport controlling the game on the other side of the ball.
Absolutely. It doesn't matter, you know, if it's a regular season game, if it's playoffs, and here we are in the Long Island final, you're going to win the game up front. It's going to come down to the people that are blocking people and the people that are coming off of blocks and making plays.
It's an easy game if you get to the fundamentals. Blocking and tackling wins. You got to block and tackle better than others. But it sounds easy. Very hard to do against teams like this.
Absolutely, very hard to do.
Russ Zellin had the extra point. It was good from Sandoval, and now lead 42-28. 3:04 the time of the drive to start this second half. 8 plays, 61 yards on that drive. For more on Isaiah Barnes to the Freeport sidelines, and here's Amanda Balionis.
Yeah, Carl, we've seen Isaiah Barnes dominate this entire game so far, and that's because Russ Zellin believes, you know, they brought him up on varsity last year. He didn't see much playing time, but he learned the offense so well that this year he got to just get right into it. He's gotten better every game. Russ Zellin said, hey, I really only trusted him running at the beginning of the season, but now I trust him to do whatever he wants because he is so good in this offense.
Thanks, Amanda. And, buddy, when you hear a coach say that, he trusts him, Barnes, in anything that he does, well, that's a great compliment to a young player.
Absolutely. The kid has come along, and I think, you know, we all watch tape, and we all get different tapes, and he's gotten better every week. And this is certainly the testimony to his improvement over the course of the year. And I think that before today's over, he might have one more.
He might have a record. You're right.
You know, Freeport in general gets better every week, though. You know, if you want to catch Russ Zellin generally, it's earlier in the year than later in the year. Similar to a Farmingdale football team also. They're both, you know, both you guys seem to, you know, when it gets around playoff time, both teams do very, very well.
Well, I think that in the course of the season, one or two things are going to happen. Nobody stays the same. You're going to get better or you're going to get worse. And I think that the coaches are in charge of making the team get better, not the kids. And you either improve as the season goes on, or you lose who you were. You fade away.
Sandoval will kick. And it's picked up there by Jonathan Martinez. And Martinez ducked under, picks up 5 to the 35. And, buddy, before I let you go, just want to talk a little bit about how popular you've become. You've been coaching a long time. I think 42 years, you tell me?
Yes.
Okay. Now you walk all over Farmingdale and stuff like, hey, buddy Krummenacher, you're the guy that I saw in that game, huh? I mean, you're getting exposure now.
I'm getting exposure now, right, exactly. The MSG thing, I think, has been tremendous. It's brought, you know, we have no problem with football tradition at Farmingdale, but I think that the MSG thing has taken it another step because people that can't get to the games, you can watch the game on TV.
And you even get a great headshot from that helicopter high above Don Snyder Field, a stadium, or whatever, that made your whole complex look so great, you know, including the teams and the coaches.
Right, and all those things. And I think that, you know, the MSG thing is like college game day, and I think that people have really warmed up to it, and they think it's a great thing, and it's Long Island football, and you know, they've really done something to take a step ahead with Long Island football.
Well, buddy Krummenacher, you used the word great. That's how I would describe you amongst other coaches, or Russ Zellin and Paul Longo, as Luke Miller gets the handoff, and he's brought down there. Jeray Brown, number 5, the first man, and thanks so much. I want you to coach another 42 years. I remember the day we were standing at CW Post. I was interviewing you. There was no time left on the scoreboard, and we kind of just looked off into the sunset. But who knew that some 26 years later, I'd still be doing games, and you'd still be coaching. Thanks so much for everything that you do, not only for Farmingdale and what you did for Hempstead, but for Nassau County and for Long Island high school football here on the island.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Tom.
You got it.
All right.
Enjoyable,
we'll see you guys.
This guy's the best. Buddy Krummenacher, the head coach of the Farmingdale Dalers. Watching his good friend Russ Zellin right now try to defend on 3rd down and 3 in a 42-28 game. And there's Stacy Bedell. Bedell with a little stutter step. Brought down at the 35-yard line. Caught from behind by Jalil Burton.
Yeah, I'll tell you something. Bedell makes a great move, but he needed to make that head fake to the inside and bust it to the outside. He might have been gone. As you take a look at Bedell getting to the outside, getting around the corner. Right now he has to slow up enough to make that cut, and he's caught from behind right there.
By Burton, number 4.
Burton, right, number 4. Mr. Burton takes him down, or else he could have been off again.
Stacy Bedell has had himself one heck of a day. Look at the rushing, the kick returns. One went for 91 yards, and that's a Long Island championship record. And then the INT for 40. No quitting. Luke Miller, number 6, on that first down carry. Stopped shy of the 30-yard line, but a nice 5-yard pickup on first down. Second down and 5 now.
Well, it's very important that Floyd answers the bell after that opening score by Freeport in the second half. They're down 2 touchdowns. They need to get to 42, and that's a tough order against a Freeport team to score 42 points. And Freeport still has the potential of getting the ball back 3 or 4 more times this game.
Just about at the midway point of this third quarter for the Long Island Class 1 Championship. A.J. Otranto, the sophomore quarterback, under center, gives to Bedell. And Bedell was wrapped up from behind. I'll tell you, those guys are quick to fire off the line. In there again, Phil Stevenson, number 61 for Freeport. Yeah,
we said they're big, they're physical up front. They're doing a good job of getting into their blocks and then getting off of their blocks. Good kick-out block right there, but they get off of it. They get a kick-out block, and then he's right out of it. So watch, as you said, 61 Phil Stevenson doing an excellent job of making that hit.
It's third down. Call it 4.
They could be in 2-down territory down here, though. They gotta get the first downs. They gotta control the football.
Play action. Otranto underneath to Luke Miller for first down and more. Knocked down inside the 20. They'll spot it at the 17. They'll move the sticks. That's a big third down and 4. Otranto, nice little play action.
Excellent play action pass. Had everybody held. Kept the linebackers in. Watch right now as he does it. Everybody stays in. Good little chip block on the corner. They got a good hit on Dan Olivier, number 21, and that helped out also. As you see, Luke Miller out, pulls the ball in, keeps his forward motion going, brings it down to the 17.
Already the highest scoring game in Class 1 history. Double the first downs, Freeport over Floyd. Bedell off the cut inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line. Boy, is he a very slick runner, sleek. He's got savvy.
And does a good job of keeping the ball when he goes to the inside, too. He just says, I don't have to break it. I just want to make my yardage.
Bedell comes out for this play, gets a little bit of a blow right now. So the running backs will be Patrick Hansen, number 19, the fullback, blocking for the tail in number 6, Luke Miller. The give to Miller, bouncing to the inside, and he's close to the 5-yard line, but they'll move the chains because that should be a first down, and it'll be first and goal, William Floyd.
Good job by Miller to keep his feet and to keep those legs moving. Watch as he hits the hole and there's nothing there. But he keeps breaking it to the outside, and there he goes. Leans forward, picks up the yardage, and as you said, first and goal, ball spotted about the 6-yard line.
Perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle by Jalil Burton, number 4. Burton has played a strong game defensively for Freeport. Inside 4 minutes left, third quarter. Long Island Class 1 title on the line. Floyd needs to score here. Bedell to the outside. He found the hole. He's got a touchdown. His 4th of the game.
Someone gave Bedell the memo that 5 touchdowns is a Long Island Championship game record. He said, wait a second, if Barnes is getting it, I want to get it too. How did he get out of that, Carl? Into a huge horde of red jerseys. Boom, he busted to the outside. No one got their hands on him. Touchdown, Stacy Bedell.
5'9", $165. He's a junior. Munson, the point after, with Scanlon to hold. And once again, it's a one-score game. Freeport up 42-35, 65 plays, less than 5 minutes. Bell capitalizing with a 6-yard run.
How'd you like to be Coach Russ Selling knowing you got Barnes back next year? How'd you like to be Coach Paul Longo knowing you got Bedell back next year? Both these guys, the juniors, have scored 9 touchdowns as he goes through the line, keeps his legs going. Great leg drive. Thin guy, great leg drive, gets to the outside, and look at the speed when he gets out there. Good kick-out block by Pat Hansen. Nice job there by Hansen, but it's all Bedell on his own. There's 3 Freeport red jerseys laid on the ground. They hit him. He kept going.
Last guy that perhaps an opportunity, he ran away from Terrell Brown, number 73. Look at this. 74 last year.
That was after 48 minutes, though. We're not even into the fourth quarter yet, Carl.
That was an undefeated championship year. 12-0 for Hills West, won the Rutgers Trophy.
I guess that's my question. How did Freeport, and we just had Buddy Krumenacher up here, but how did Freeport lose a game this year, which we're seeing, and how did Floyd lose 2 games this year? But both of them had losses. It just shows you what high school football is in Conference 1 and Division 1 in Nassau and Suffolk counties.
Well, both coaches knew that it could be a high-scoring game. I did not expect the shootout that we have had today.
And just the way they're playing it. These teams are very good defensive football teams. You're seeing the hitting out there, but they're still able to move the ball up and down the football field and strap on your seatbelts because Freeport's getting the ball again.
Spun around, the hit there by Rajiv Haran on Evan Lapice. Well, all things high school now in high definition. Tara Petrolino brings you a new season of High School Journal. MSG Varsity's weekly news magazine showcases arts, entertainment, and special events in the tri-state area. Catch High School Journal Tuesdays at 7 p.m. only on MSG Varsity. And speaking of Tara Petrolino, working the Suffolk County sidelines today, that's William Floyd, Amanda Balionis on the Freeport side, Nassau County. And both ladies will be with us right through the championships of Class 1, 2, 3, and 4. Olivier took a little stutter step, waited for his blocking, got it to the 45-yard line. Now, depending upon the spot, they might move the chains, and I believe they will. It's a first down on that 10yard pickup.
Yeah, I think they're going to make it about an inch short. They're actually spotting,
Oh, wait, now they're moving.
They're moving the chains and the play is going, but it doesn't make any difference. That would have been the first down. If that was a first down play call, you were correct.
They scrambled. The play was scrambling and scrambled for 5. Actually, they got the ball on the 49-yard line right now, Freeport of William Floyd, trying to get the score back that they just gave up.
And they want to keep that 2-touchdown lead, not just a 1-touchdown lead. And the pressure really is on the William Floyd defense. As you see Russ Selling right there saying, hey, keep the ball moving.
Inside 3 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Irby. Whoa. Now the D-line came up. There's our guy, number 15, Anthony Tavarone. 290 pounds of a solid brick wall.
You watch right here as Irby takes the handoff. You see Tavarone coming right in and just making the hit. Gets a good job of fighting off his block there to make the tackle.
He wants this game. Lost to Freeport a year ago. Barnes on 3rd and 2. Motion Jure Brown 5. Barnes on the keep. To the outside, Isaiah Barnes. He turned the corner. He's still on his feet. And he's got his 6th touchdown of the game. That is a new record. A 47-yard run.
Take a look at Isaiah Barnes. Look at the speed. I mean, everybody was ready for Olivier in this game. They were ready for everybody else. Isaiah Barnes just takes it outside, tiptoes along the sideline, and just is off to the races, Carl. As you said, 6 touchdowns in one game. Tremendous athletic effort. And we still have a fourth quarter to play.
Sandoval for the PAT. 48-35. Excuse me, 49-35.
Well, take a look. It's just a fake on the fly sweep to Jure Brown, and now Isaiah Barnes just takes the ball, goes down the sidelines. He beats everybody to the sideline and then just heads north and south, brings it into the end zone.
So Barnes with a record-setting performance, 6 touchdowns in a Long Island championship game. He's got 6. Stacy Bedell for William Floyd has 4. Bedell is the first player in the history of the Long Island Champions to score an offensive touchdown, a defensive touchdown, and special teams. We've got records all over the place, and the most points.
And most points
combined in the game.
And we, again, have a quarter left to play. We're going to see a heck of a lot more. And again, don't count William Floyd out of this game. Everybody sees Freeport going up and down. What they need to do now, Floyd, is they can't take their time anymore. They can't control the ball. Because if they control the ball, they're going to have to at least cause a turnover or something to get the ball back. They have 2 touchdowns down. They have a whole quarter and 1 minute and 47 seconds left, but they need to start picking up the pace. You see, Paul Longo's probably saying, we're doing everything I wanted to do. I have 35 points in the third quarter. I'm doing everything I diagrammed up except for stopping a team I just had no idea could move the football as quickly as they do.
Freeport scoring drive, 65 yards. Barnes, 47-yard touchdown run. Not only has Isaiah Barnes broken the record for most rushing touchdowns in a Long Island championship game with 6, Freeport's Edwin Sandoval has tied the record for most extra points in a Long Island championship game.
Well, he has 7 extra points so far, and he's probably saying, get 1 more touchdown so I can get out there. I don't want a field goal now. Field goal isn't going to help. I want that extra point.
Well, field goal would help Russ Selland because he said he would take the 3 points if he needed them. Sandoval to kick off. Martinez letting it go and then picks it up at the 18. Martinez knocked over Sandoval. The kicker was down there, and Martinez to the 30-yard line. But how about that? Ties the record for the most extra points.
Makes a tackle.
And then he wants to come down and make a tackle. Edwin Sandoval, the soccer player, who's a junior. Oh, and by the way, if you didn't know he's number 35, just look at his shoes. He's the only guy wearing golden slippers.
And we're talking about guys who are coming back next year. Guys like Bedell, guys like Barnes, guys like Sandoval. The big scorers in this game, they're all coming back. No guarantee they'll be in the Long Island Championship game next year, but the way I see them playing now, there's a good chance they will be.
So now William Floyd again down by 2 scores with 1:40 left, third quarter. Long Island Class 1 Championship from Schuett Stadium, campus of Hofstra University. There is Bedell. Bedell for a yard. Maybe.
Yeah, again, the defensive line of the Red Devils are stepping up here. Bedell to the sideline. Fontrell Nash to the sideline.
When it's all said and done, there might be 17,412 total yards in this game, which I think would be a record.
They're setting records all over the place. I'm sure it would be.
Toronto look back towards the right, and then he gets dumped. He was sacked. Sneaking in there, number 54, who had 3 sacks on the season, Oscar Bruce.
And Carl, he looked to his right. He was going to throw the screen pass, but he saw the receiver was completely covered. What he really needed to do was throw it at his feet so he wouldn't take the sack. He just put the ball back down, and he took the sack. But he saw when he looked over there, I think he was looking at Luke Miller. He was completely covered. He said, I can't take a chance of an interception. Decided to eat the ball.
A loss of 8 yards with the time winding down here in the third quarter. It's 3rd down and 18.
And everyone knows the ball is going in the air now. This is where Freeport can tee off on the quarterback and play defensive pass defense.
Well, they go to the ground with Bedell, and Bedell scampered up to the 30-yard line. Gets him out of trouble, but it's still going to be 4th and 11, and that will bring on the punter, Matt Ortiz. But not before the seconds tick off and the third quarter comes to an end. 36 minutes are in the books, 12 away from crowning a champion. Who will it be? Right now, Freeport in control, 49-35 on MSG Varsity HG Game of the Week. Carl Reuter, Tom Howard, Tara Petrolino, Amanda Balionis back here at Schuett Stadium, campus of Hofstra University. Long Island Class 1 championship game. Our number 9 Freeport team over our number 17 Floyd team, 49-35, and a Freeport offense that really has not been stopped yet today, Tom Howard.
They were stopped on the very first drive, 3 and out, and 1 interception that Stacey Bedell brought back for a touchdown. But other than that, they have moved up and down the football field, not only at will, but very, very quickly, striking lightning fast.
Now they want to throw it, a sack and a fumble. Although they will say, Bob Miller, the referee, that Isaiah Barnes was dumped, and the ground can't cause a fumble, even though it did come out of his hands.
And that was the break that Floyd was looking for, and unable to come up with it. But good job, a good pressure right there, getting into the backfield to make the head. As you can see, just a fake sweep.
Bedell
on the blitz. And I'll tell you something, that ball was loose in his hands and bounced off his body. It was loose in his hands right there.
Yep.
Bounced off his body and to the ground. But the call is the call. You have to pick it up, William Floyd, and make the hit again.
Irby and Bedell. There is a flag on the play. Stacey Bedell now stepping it up, amping it up just a bit defensively for Floyd.
Now, I'll tell you something, though. Take a look at Irby. Make sure if you're out there watching this game, size does not matter if you want to play football. He is able to go, and you can see it's going to be a call holding against the Red Devils, which is going to push them back even deeper. Look at Irby right there, 5'3", but he is a big heart, big-time football player.
One of the Chihuahuas with Evan Lapice, number 10 for Freeport. Bob Miller, our referee.
Holding. Offense, number 7. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat, second down.
Jeff Williams on the infraction for Freeport. So now it's second down, and I can't add those numbers.
No,
they're at the 14. They have to get to the 41. It's 27 yards. That's what they're looking for. Freeport wants to hold on to it. Won that trophy last year over this William Floyd team.
William Floyd's name is on it. No 50607. They want to get it back.
Second down and 27 for Freeport from its own 14. Olivier stacked up. Give him 3, but it's 3rd and 24. Anthony Tavarone. You have to love a guy like that. You really, really fall in love with a guy like Anthony Tavarone.
Well, we saw him talking to Tara. He's having a good time out here today, but again, he wants that win. He says we're going to do what we need to do. He's a toughie.
Again, Paul Longo, head coach of William Floyd, said Tavarone is just a horse. He's just powerful, but he's a great kid. He's a funny guy. Right now, it's not fun and games. He wants to stop here. Twins to the top of the screen. Lapice, number 10, to the bottom of the screen. Oh, quick kick. Quick kick. And a good job here as it rolls inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. So Russ Sellen going with a quick kick here.
Well, he's
on
saying,
3rd and 24.
He's saying basically, I don't want to take a chance of kicking the ball and getting a quick punt return. You know, Vontrell Nash, John Martinez, they're the punt returners, they're back there. Let's put the ball in. Our defense has been playing good physical defense. Even when Floyd has been scoring lately, it's been long drives. We're up by 2 scores. Let him take 7 minutes off the clock right now. Even if we give up a score, we're in much better shape.
First and 10 for William Floyd. Bedell bouncing it back to the inside over the 45 to the 47. Give him 4, second down and 6. Clock moving.
See Floyd in a little bit of a hurry up now. They're trying, you know, there's got to be a sense of urgency at this point when you're down by 2 touchdowns with roughly 9 minutes to play. You have to start putting some points on the board. They did a good job of holding Freeport last time. Now they got to put them up.
9-12 left. Shotgun at Tronto. He wants to throw as he rolls it out. Got Bedell on the run for a first down at the 42-yard line. Or was he out of bounds? No. He did drop it. Okay, he dropped
the ball.
it.
I was going to say, I saw the referee giving an incomplete signal over there, and it did look like it went right into his hands. Take a look right now. Otranto gets out. When he can square those shoulders, he puts the ball. He just dropped it. Yep, it just came out of his hands. It's a perfect pass by A.J. Otranto. Put the ball where he needed to put it. Brings up a big third down situation, Paul.
Apologize, lost it from the far side, but that's why I have Tom Howard here with Luke Miller in motion, number 6. Now Otranto will try the near side, throws on the run. Oh, it was tipped there by Errol Small, and then trying to back it up and make that catch was Kenny Grimm, but now it's 4th down.
Errol Small, not so small at 5'8". He's much bigger than those 2 chihuahuas. Then another junior comes up and makes a great play right there. Watch as he lays his body out just to get his hand on it, but just enough to stop it, because that would have been a reception right there. You can see Kenny Grimm ready to come down with it. Small getting in the way.
That's what the word you used is junior. That's scary because he's coming back and they're going to go for it on 4th down here in 6. Bedell, the man in motion. Otranto steps up and throws. Oh, and nearly picked off by Cedric Smiley, who was thinking about all the real estate in front of him.
And he did a great job of defending. He saw the stop. He jumped right on the stop pattern right here and steps in front and almost had the 6. But he did his job because it was 4th down. That's all he needed. Good job of coming up. Came right in. You got to use your hands there. Let it come right into his gut and drop the ball.
Stepped right in front. Did Smiley
only a
on
sophomore?
Jonathan Martinez, only a sophomore.
He's back again next year, and Russ Ellen says of Smiley, he says he's the happy guy out there. He's always smiling. Name Smiley, Smiley Kid.
Barnes, Freeport goes to the ground, looking just gliding over the 40 to the 39-yard line. With more on the Freeport Red Devils, here's Amanda Balionis.
Yeah, Carl, you guys just saw that defensive series that Freeport put together. It's exactly what Russ Ellen was telling them to do. He said, look, we may be up by 2 touchdowns, but you can't get comfortable yet. There's a lot of time left. This is the time that we have to start to break Floyd's back. Break him down, and then we'll be all right.
Well, they are going to attempt that right now on this series here, Amanda.
Dennis Feast coming out.
47.
Yep. And they're putting in Dylan Brown right now for him because there's something wrong, it looked like, with Dennis Feast's helmet.
And now we have the officials' time. There is Dennis Feast, 5'10", 230-pound junior.
Was number 72 all year, went to number 40 last week. He's at number 47 this week.
Next week, no game. This is it for the Long Island Class 1 Championship on 2nd and short. Barnes made a wide turn. Now he reverses his field. He's got red jerseys in front of him. Oh, but some great speed from behind.
Who do you think that would be? Number 21?
Bedell was in there. Yeah, and he got some help there from 23, Devontae Smith. The speedsters were chasing him down.
See, as he takes the ball, he's going right. He almost has the corner, but nobody is out there blocking Vontrell Nash, so he decides to reverse his field, go back the other way. Guys got to start looking up the field. They waited too long to look up the field. Stacey Bedell tracks him down from behind. Devontae Smith from the front side.
Well, there's Barnes. There is a timeout on the field. We have a player down. We'll step aside, come back with more on MSG Varsity and HG's Game of the Week. Walking off under his own power, Rajiv Haran, the junior. Training staff working on him. 165 pounds on a 5'8" frame. Again, he is from the island of Jamaica in the Caribbean. This is a 1st and 10 for Freeport with Barnes. He starts off in slow motion, and then Tom, as he gets to the 27, he starts to gear it up.
He's almost like a thoroughbred where he's sort of, pacing himself. He's trotting, he's looking for that opening, and bam, when he hits the hole, he can accelerate. Again, following his blockers. Good job out there by Jeff Williams, number 7, getting into somebody that, we talked about the offensive line making the blocks, but Maurice Irby, Dre Brown, Jeff Williams, Evan Lapice, all those guys do such a good job of stalk blocking down the field. Freeport is a total package with the team. They block, They run, they tackle, they do it all. They get into people up front.
Clock moving now with 7 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter in the highest scoring championship game in Long Island history. Freeport looking for more to try to ice it with Barnes to the left. Stutter step on Bedell, but Bedell no quit. Pulled him down from behind at the 26-yard line.
Yeah, he's the one guy who can keep up with Isaiah Barnes. Stacey Bedell has the great speed. Does a good job here coming down the tackle. You see he's sort of just waiting. Takes that stutter step, slows down himself, picks it back up, comes up with the tackle.
Well, if you're William Floyd and you see the clock, you almost need a defensive stop, maybe perhaps a fumble recovery or something here, get a defensive touchdown.
Yeah, they almost had it down there before with the sack on Barnes, but they didn't come up with it. With the Jure Brown touching the ball on the punt, didn't come up with it. They do need something, but Freeport playing mistake-free football today.
Haran 11 combining with Feast 47 on the last tackle. Russ Zellen, 24th year on the sidelines of the Freeport Red Devils. Won the championship back in 2000, 05, and last year. 2000 had DeBrickashaw Ferguson, now with the New York Jets, who was quoted in the paper saying, that Long Island championship my junior year will go down as one of my highlights, even if I get to the Super Bowl.
And Carl, that might go down as one of my highlights of the games watched. That was the overtime game against Comac, and just a great football game.
Again, Feast from behind with help from 39, Miguel Brennan. There is Dennis Feast, number 47. Tom said, third number in 3 weeks. Started with 72. Went to 40 last week for the Sachem North game. Today's wearing 47.
Tight trips to the bottom of the screen right here.
Floating it, looking. Touchdown, Jeff Williams. 22-yard scoring strike. And Freeport's got 55 double nickels on the board.
Well, Isaiah Barnes says, listen, I can show you I can run 6, and let me show you I can pass the ball also, as he hits Jeff Williams. Perfect strike, wide open Jeff Williams. I mean, breakdown in coverage there, no one near him. Vontrell Nash trying to go there late, but no one was near him.
Well, here is the 8th attempt at a PAT. If Sandoval makes it, it will be a Long Island championship record. 8 PATs in one game for Edwin Sandoval. And he is in the record books along with Isaiah Barnes and Stacey Bedell of William Floyd.
And they're going to take those gold shoes and they're going to put them into the Long Island Championship football. They're going to bronze them. Very good. Sandoval with a record. Barnes with a record.
Yeah, he's got that football. Unless he's going to just kick it off. That's what he's going to do.
I think he's going to kick it off. And take a look, just a nice pass and wide open. Just, I mean, again, breakdown in coverage. You could see Vontrell Nash on Jure Brown right there, stayed up tight. And no one covering tight trip formation. The middle man was Jeff Williams. One guy went to the middle of the field with the inside guy. One guy went to the outside field with the outside guy. Jeff Williams went straight down the field, wide open touchdown.
So Tom Howard, most points scored in a championship game for Long Island today. That's one record. Second record, Sandoval, 8 PATs, one game for Freeport. Third record would be Isaiah Barnes, okay, with the 6 rushing touchdowns, another record. And then Stacey Bedell, he's got a offensive touchdown, a defensive touchdown, and a special teams touchdown. That also a record. First guy to score in 3 aspects of the game.
Yep. It's a record game, and it's a great high school football game also.
And it's not over with 5 minutes and 30 seconds left.
And there's no quitting this Floyd team. You're going to see they're going to come out and they're going to work their tail off to get in the end zone.
Absolutely.
Really, the goal here is to score a touchdown. And from the very first quarter, maybe they should have just kept on onside kicking, because Freeport's going to score if they get the ball, whether it's on the 8-yard line, go 92 yards, or on the 8-yard line, going 8 yards.
Freeport has also broken the LIC record for total net yards in a game, currently standing at 500. They've broken the record for the most points in a Long Island championship game, 56. And we mentioned Sandoval with the 8 PATs. So add 2 more records to the 4 previously that I had stated.
Yeah, 55 by North Babylon back in, I think it was like 98 or so, but now we got 56 up here.
What a day. What a season in one game. Sandoval is going to be picked up by Nash at the 11. Wants to get outside, trying to get outside, and he bumped his way over the 25-yard line to the 26. So 1st and 10, William Floyd.
And now the ball goes into the hands of A.J. Otranto, the quarterback, who's only a sophomore. And William Floyd's not really a passing team, but they need to score fast. So they either need to get Bedell to the outside or get him into space.
Well, get all you need to know about high school sports in a quick 60. Join Mike Quick as he reveals the top 25 teams in the tri-state area live. That's a quick 60, Tuesdays at 8 p.m. only on MSG Varsity, another Optimum exclusive. Quick's here today. Been watching them all day long. Got here very early, hanging out, I believe, in the end zone. Bedell been hanging out in the end zone all day as well with Isaiah Barnes. Spins it out to the 29-yard line.
Talking about Mike Quick, he had his daughter here earlier today.
No, his niece.
I'm sorry, with the 100-yard dash against Andrew Rappaport from News 12.
Second down upcoming. And 7 with less than 5. And boy, that Freeport defense, 61 Stevenson, 73 Brown. There's Mike Quick. That's Matt McLeese, the athletic director over at Cary High School. Pat Pizzarelli with the baseball cap in the background there. Something's going on down there where Quick and McLeese are having a good time.
A lot of laughs, and Cary had such a great year this year also.
Boy, McLeese's son, Tyler, what an outstanding linebacker for St. Anthony's, who won the 9th championship in 10 years for the Catholic League AAA. Here's Bedell on a swing. Oh, Bedell caught from behind there by Jeff Williams. Talk about speed chasing speed. Stop the clock.
Stops the clock and gets within a yard of the first down here, but it's a 4th down situation now, and they have to go for it. As you watch Otranto put the ball out to the flat, Bedell, as you said, gets his speed and unable to come down with that first.
Substitutions made for William Floyd on this 4th down and 1. They got Patrick Hansen in there, number 19. The lone setback is Bedell. Now they shift the line with Tavarone, Scanlon 84, and Hansen 19. Pitch. Bedell's going to try to find those big guys and try to go straight ahead off that cutback, and he is denied. And on downs, William Floyd will give the football back to Freeport.
And you can see that strength of the Freeport defense right here, just coming up and just making a huge stop on this 4th down play. William Floyd offense getting into their blocks, but just unable to move that Freeport defense. They're big, they're physical. Russ looking to call a timeout right now, and I think basically what he's going to do is he's going to talk to his guys about, let's just run the football, let's just keep the ball on the ground, let's just try to use up the time and get out of this game.
Russ Sellin started coaching this Freeport team back in 1986, had a 5-3 season, and now 24 years later, he's looking for his 178th win, which could culminate with the Long Island Class 1 championship for a 2nd straight year, his 4th overall 2nd straight year over this William Floyd team, who had a great run in 05, 06, 07, 3 in a row for Paul Longo.
You see Russ Sellin, there's Paul Longo on the other side, both coaches, excellent football coaches, great programs over the past 10 years.
This has been a record-setting day between these two teams. 91 points, both teams. Touchdowns by a player. That is 6 rushing touchdowns by Barnes. Extra points, Edwin Sandoval. That's a record. Total points by a team, Freeport, and the total yards. Unbelievable. And then Stacy Bedell, who has those 3 touchdowns, 1 offense, 1 defense, and 1 on the special teams, and has a record for the 91-yard kickoff return, the longest in Long Island Championship history.
So that's 7, 8,
9,
keep
10.
going.
There's Bedell. on a shotgun with Barnes. They'll hand to Olivier. And Olivier's brought down after a couple of yard pickup. For more on the William Floyd situation, the sidelines, we go to Tara Petrolino.
Carl, defensive coaches for Floyd telling their squad before they took the field, listen, guys, keep your heads up. We love you. You've worked hard all year. You've had a tremendous season. Let's go out the way we taught you guys.
You know, Tara, that's a great point because many people, as Tom and I talked about in the open, didn't think that William Floyd would be playing in this game. They thought it would be Sachem North. But Sachem North lost to William Floyd. Paul Longo was a magician in strategy that week, and he got his team out of that Suffolk County Division I title game into the Long Island Class 1 game.
And just has a way of doing that. This is his 7th Long Island championship in the past 10 years. You watch Barnes right here.
Barnes trying to take it away to the house, but some great pursuit by Rajiv Haran, or Barnes might have been rushing for his 7th touchdown of this game.
Take a look at Barnes. He doesn't even look like he puts into the extra speed right now. Once he turns, he's just running. Well, I guess he is running as hard as he can. Haran does a real good job of bringing him down. But Barnes always looks like he's in cruise gear, Carl.
Yeah. He's in like third, and then he kicks it into fourth. Then he goes into overdrive. And the best part about it, well, if you're Conference 1, you don't want to hear it, but he's back for next year. And if you're a fan of football, you want to see a guy like Isaiah Barnes again next season.
Yeah, this makes it a very tough thing. I know Russ Ellen doesn't want to score right now.
No, he's using all the clock.
No, but he wants to use the whole clock, and I think he's trying to figure out his first and goal, though. I can't, so maybe I give the ball back. You don't want to not score. You want to just keep the clock and get out of the game.
Timeout, Freeport. There's Jimmy Jones.
Hello?
Calling the whole team over now. And this might be one of those huddles where even though you never say it's over until it's over, okay, Yogi, but he might be telling the guys, we've had a great season.
Sure.
Congratulations. I want you to go out there, continue to play hard, but play clean and respect your opponent.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's probably going to say to the guys, you know, we're not trying to rub anything in. We know what a storied program William Floyd is. We don't need the touchdown right here. We want to just get out of this thing without injuries, get the clock down. And I'm trying to figure out the time because there's a 25-second clock in football. You really can't run out the clock without scoring, so unless the referee sort of holds the ball and spots it late every time.
And speaking of great seasons, what a job this man did, Paul Longo. They'll finish at 9-3, but the man who's now at the helm in his 16th year, and here's the great number of what they've done. See, 37 years of Floyd football prior to Paul Longo getting into the school, they won only 87 games. Since that time, in 16 years, 122 wins and 34 losses. That's an incredible number.
That's like 87% of the wins. In other words, he wins 87% of the time as opposed to those 87 games in 30 years. He really has done a great job. The kids love him. He knows his football. He knows how to get kids up for games, and he knows how to make adjustments.
Great season for William Floyd. And thank you to both schools for all their help. Turning it. Is he in? Touchdown. Maurice Irby, Freeport. That's a big number on the board.
Irby just taking the handoff. All that's happening is Isaiah Barnes gives it to him around the end. It's a fly sweep, and he just takes it and just gets out. And there's been no answer for the outside today for William Floyd. The contain was not there all day.
That PAT, though, was missed by Sandoval.
He said, I have the record. I don't need to rush. And he misses an extra point. But
that might be the only thing that's gone wrong for Freeport today.
Other than the first drive where they were 3 and out, you're absolutely right. The beginning and the end, but in the middle, they have just played just a great football game. Maurice
Irby, one of the Chihuahuas, the junior, on that touchdown. And it's 62-35 in favor of Freeport. Boy, they'll be proud to take this bus back to Brickashaw Ferguson Street or Avenue, whatever it is in Freeport, right across the street from the high school.
Absolutely. They don't have the ride that Floyd has. Unfortunately, Floyd has an hour and 15-minute ride. It's going to be a long one for them. But again, they need to hold their heads up. Just as Tara said before, they have played a great game. That win over Sachem North last week, I mean, we saw that first Sachem North game. They played their hearts out, did the William Floyd Colonials. Paul Longo right there, that whole team, great season.
I know Paul Longo is disappointed, and he should be. He's a head coach. Once you get here, you think you can win, but you can't hang your head on the effort that he got from his Colonials this season.
There's Mark mentions AD
his
right
AD.
to his right. Mark does a fantastic job with the whole athletic program out there at William Floyd. And both these teams, we're going to see these programs again in the future, I'm sure.
I've spoken to Paul a lot during the course of the season, and we're always talking strategy. I will call him again this week. Knowing him, he's already been going to break down this film, and he's already thinking about week one and the opponent. Even though he doesn't know who it's going to be yet in week one, he's already thinking about it. Two great men, two of the best coaches in the history of high school football, Tom Howard. You've been around a long time. I don't think you would argue that fact that Russ Selland and Paul Longo go up there with the greatest.
Wouldn't argue at all. I said in the open, I said these are the two best public school programs over the past 10 years. And, you know, we know St. Anthony's and the Catholic schools had a tremendous run the past 10 years. But these two guys, great coaches, great programs.
And that's Nash who gets the ball up to about the 20-yard line. And if you mention St. Anthony's, be remiss if we didn't mention their outstanding coach in Richie Reichert.
Absolutely, has done a fantastic job. Believe started there in 1987, and as we said, just won his 9th in the past 10 years Catholic High School Football Championship, and a number before that also.
Paul Longo will talk to his team as they come back out with 2 minutes and 13 seconds left. And we'll set it up for a 1st and 10.
Russ Selland halfway out in the field. You can see him at the bottom of your screen there, basically trying to tell his guys, listen, just play good, solid football. Don't get into anything with anybody. 2 minutes and 13 seconds away from our 2nd straight Long Island championship.
Got a new quarterback, and that's David Whitney, who caught a pass earlier in this game, a super pass and catch over the middle, and Whitney's in there to hand it off right now. And spinning and looking for some yardage there was Miguel Brennan, who's played a lot of linebacker.
And I like
what was it? It was 36. My apology.
I like what I see right here because they're all second-string guys in right now for Floyd. Floyd has their whole second team in there. Paul Longo saying, you guys have worked all year. You deserve a shot at playing in the Long Island Championship game. And that builds for the future. That shows the kids something. They know that they have the young team. They're going to be back again next year. He's getting these kids a chance to get in here.
Let me give the correction. That was James Hodder, number 36. So, James, your name is set on TV in a championship effort by your school. James Hodder is a senior.
Glenn Morphus just carried that ball, number 12, on that last play. Picked up the first down.
There's Morphus. He's a junior, so he'll be back next year. Final 90 seconds. Start the clock. But just a great, great story for both of these schools. Freeport defends the Long Island Class 1 title against the team that they beat a year ago, William Floyd, as Whitney scrambles, wants to throw. He's got some nice feet to the outside and then lowers his shoulder. Loose football, crossed it up, and I believe they'll give it to Freeport on the far side.
Yeah, he did a good job of scramble when he went out and around the end as he was leaning forward trying to pick up that first down. He got hit, the ball came out, got on the carpet, and looks like Freeport is coming up with it. We'll see what the spot is. Yeah, Freeport football. And now Russ Selland just taking the 56 seconds.
So they'll be celebrating on Sunrise Highway tonight. That's the home to Freeport High School. Freeport will improve to 11-1. The one loss was to Farmingdale But the Red Devils avenged that loss in the championship game of Conference 1 to get here.
And they lost in the last couple of seconds of that game. Sal Tuttle coming down, hitting Pat Stark for a touchdown pass with about 5 seconds to go in the game, where they could be undefeated.
That loss was 42-39 back in week 3 over at Freeport High School to Farmingdale.
And I think that Russ Selland knew he had a good team this year, but he found out he had a great team this year when they beat that Oceanside team, because Oceanside, Tyler Hewer, Rob Brown had a great year this year. Fantastic year for the Oceanside Sailors.
There's the knee. Have to get one more snap in here, Tom. There's a record-setting performer in Isaiah Barnes. 6 rushing touchdowns, a new LIC record. The storylines are plentiful in this one.
And they can take the snap right about now, and that will be it.
And don't be fooled by this score of 27 points as Russ Selland takes that Gatorade bag. It was a lot closer than the score really indicated until we got into that fourth quarter.
Yeah, I was going to say, that first half, it just lit it up back and forth.
Your Long Island Class 1 champs for a second straight year over William Floyd. It's Freeport, 62-35. So both schools will line up for the handshake at midfield. Freeport Red Devils, Long Island Class 1 champs by way of William Floyd, 62-35. We'll come back. We'll speak with our MSG Varsity Game of the Week, player of the game, right after this timeout. A record-setting performance, this combination of William Floyd and Freeport, but the Red Devils defend their championship against the same William Floyd team they beat a year ago, 62-35. Freeport's Isaiah Barnes breaking the record for most rushing touchdowns in a Long Island championship game with 6. He's our player of the game. He's standing by with Amanda Balionis.
Isaiah, 6 touchdowns today. You have set a Class 1 record. Really? What was it like coming through here, and what made it so easy for you to be this successful today?
The line, everybody made great blocks. I mean, coach gave me the ball, and I just followed every single block, and they led me to the touchdown. So I give them all the credit in the world. My receivers blocked too. It was a team effort, and we did it.
I know Coach talked to you guys about containing Stacy Bedell. He comes out, has the first 2 scores. Coach turns to you and says, all right, we got to start throwing it. The game was kind of on your shoulders. What were you thinking in those first couple scores when you guys were down by 2 TDs?
Well, we spotted them 14 points, so I was thinking, hey, we've been scoring 40 points a game. We're going to do it. It ain't going to be it's not going to be any different, this game. And coach gave me the ball. I just got to get in the end zone, get the team back in the game, and I got in the end zone, thankfully.
Well, Tom Howard, he got into the end zone, thankfully, along with a lot of his teammates. 533 total yards. Unbelievable performance by these 2 teams, especially Freeport.
Yeah, it certainly was. And Isaiah said it best when he said the offensive line, the receivers, it was the blocking. It was the guys up front that helped him. He was the guy who got into the end zone those 6 times, but it was a total team effort for Freeport. Hey, Russ Selland put together a great game plan.
Can't overlook Stacy Bedell hitting the paint 4 times as well for William Floyd, but William Floyd falls short, 62-35. Once again, the Freeport Red Devils, your Long Island Class 1 champions. Unbelievable game here at Seward Stadium on the campus of Hofstra University. It was a rematch of last year's game between William Floyd and Freeport. Bedell got it started, but Barnes had the answer. In fact, 6 times he hit the end zone for a championship game record of Long Island, hitting the paint 6 different occasions. It was an unbelievable game. Points were racked up, 97, the most in a Long Island championship game. Once again, the final score, Freeport 62, William Floyd 35. Your 2010 Long Island Class 1 champs, the Freeport Red Devils. Good afternoon from Seward Stadium on the campus of Hofstra University. on MSG Varsity, now in HD's Game of the Week.